Hi, this is Faith, and you are watching The Faith Factor. Holla. All right. What's going on? Commendable
Hey,
K.
hey, yeah, I still got some dirt and dust on me from the Grandmaster troll stream. Thank you for allowing this after show. I appreciate it.
Hey, it's my pleasure. I try to stay off of YouTube, but I keep telling you that the trolls, they just keep calling me.
Keep
They
bringing you
calling me.
back. Keep bringing you back. I know it. I know it, right?
Oh man, what was that in Grandmaster Trolls? The dust. The dust that I saw up there on that panel today was astounding. I mean, I lost like 300 IQ points listening to the men on that panel try to get out of buying anything for their woman on Valentine's Day. That's what it all boiled down to, Commendable K. They were broke and they just didn't have the money, and they didn't want any men that actually got it to outshine them and make them look bad. So they came up with this elaborate scheme to convince people that their dustiness on Valentine's Day doesn't have anything to do with the fact that they don't have it. They don't have any money. They're broke. They're dusty.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I can rant on and on. What's up, Commendable K? What you got to say, brother? They
Well,
did my brother bad, but you held your own. I have to say, you held your own.
yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, when it boils down to it, a lot of people use shaming language to get people, really women, to lower their standards. And that's really what they wanted, was someone to lower their standards. They want you all to open your door, open your couch, open your purse, and open your legs. And instead of being, treated nice on Valentine's Day to show appreciation for your sweetie, they were wanting women to cook for them. But as the conversation progressed forward, and even though it got a little bit degenerate, as time progressed forward and people started camming up besides myself, we were seeing that there were people who were sleeping on the ground and had trash everywhere, like they were living in squalor and hoarders. And you had this other guy who he cammed up and he was looking like Ratatouille off of that movie Rat Face. And I'm thinking, like, wait a minute. You going on and on and on about, saying negative things about women, but you got crust in your eyes. Your face looks like it's been dragged on the road, looking like Master Splinter off of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I wanted to ask him, did you take the COVID vaccine and you were turned into a rat, or have you been a rat your whole life? So it got really dusty. It was a dust up, and it was, we as black men collectively took an L with that. So we're working on trying to get back to, being, I guess,
Well,
respectful collectively.
what was the original topic supposed to be about in the first place?
It was basically, matter of fact, you know what? Let me read it. Let me just read this thing. Why it was on Grandmaster Troll's channel. It was why single women are no longer celebrating Valentine's Day and the excuses they give.
Oh, okay. So I I
Mm-hmm.
I, I saw a little snippet of the China White video that he played,
I
where
did too.
China White was explaining why she didn't care for Valentine's Day. And
Mm-hmm.
here's my thing, why is it that black people, when we are in our period of loneliness, or when we are in our period of brokenness, or just in a period where we just ain't got it, why
Right.
do we have to mess it up for everybody else that do get it? Why do we do that?
I think it's out of jealousy. Because when it boils down to it, most of the conversation, people were pulling straws, quoting religion, saying some set stuff about history. Using a European reasons, like a blue line, as to why they didn't want to celebrate. And when it boils down to it, people are going to be jealous of something, and they're going to talk down on it if they can't participate. Because those same men and women who were talking down as far as the event, they're going to celebrate New Year's. They're going to celebrate Thanksgiving. They're going to celebrate their
But it
birthday.
sounded like Zach was celebrating New Year's on the panel. Didn't he sound drunk to you?
He did. He always sounds drunk, to be honest. But yeah, he did sound drunk. He looked like he was high. When he cammed up, his eyes were real low, and he was looking as if somebody had been cutting up onions in the same room. And he's just like, I can't see. Ah, he was like Mr. Magoo. So yeah, he looked like he was intoxicated and he was on something. And it's very shameful that we get on panels in public under the influence of something and make a fool out of you and me. So very shameful.
Well, for my part, for the ladies that like to talk down on Valentine's Day, it's very telling of the women that do this because, usually these are women that don't have men. Let's just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
These are
Right.
the people talking down on love and expressing love for your significant other on a day. Now, yes, we do understand this is not elementary. We understand that you're supposed to celebrate Valentine's Day every day. You're supposed to let your significant other know that you appreciate them every day. But on special occasions like the holidays, there's nothing wrong with people wanting to express that on Valentine's Day too.
Right.
And I really just dislike it. I think it's really disingenuous because I have had several seasons of loneliness before I got with the guy that I'm with now. And during my seasons of loneliness, when Valentine's Day would come up, I felt bad because I didn't have anybody. But at the same time, I wasn't going to ruin it for those that did. I
Right.
wasn't. Go back and look at any video I've done over the last 5 years I've been on here, and you would never find a video about me downing Valentine's Day or saying, "Oh, Valentine's Day is for women that are gold diggers," and why would you even want your man doing anything for you on Valentine's Day? It's just one day, and blah blah blah, and it just shitting on everybody's good time, making it fucking things up for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want to take a massive dump on somebody else's day because you're lonely? I've never understood that. Never. And it's not comely for women to do it either. There's nothing wrong with women being wined and dined on Valentine's Day. You get wined and dined every other day. You don't find anything wrong with it any other time, but you want to shit on it on a day for lovers. Think about it, CK. It's a day for lovers.
Mm-hmm.
So on a day for lovers, you're talking about people who are supposedly together because they've made a commitment, they care about each other. It's just somebody that that you feel something for, that you want to celebrate and show that person that you love them or you care or you like them or that there's somebody that's on your radar. Why would anyone want to shit on that for other women?
I think it boils down to it that unfortunately we as a society collectively, and we'll just say black people, we've adopted the whole Netflix and chill, where we don't court anymore, we don't really communicate, we don't connect with significant other. It's just all about how fast can we jump in the bed, wham bam, thank you, ma'am, and then go our separate ways. And whatever mistakes that we made, we're just going to be fighting. So I think it's what it is people don't really want to connect and have an actual bond with someone. And a lot of the men on the panel were saying that because they had negative things to say about black women at one point. And it's just like, if you're, or really just women, period. And it's like, well, if you're complaining about women, who exactly are you getting with? And, also there was women that or a woman that came up there that was also saying negative things about Valentine's Day, and even women in the chat. And when it boils down to it, I think it's just because we've adopted the whole Netflix and chill. And this one day where you're going to have different Valentine's Day decorations, Valentine's Day packages as far as food, as far as romantic getaways, different things that have been created that you can purchase and be a part of as far as an experience. Many people choose not to be a part of that, maybe because they can't afford it, or because they may have what I call a hoe mentality, in that they don't want to connect, they don't want to celebrate love, they don't want to celebrate a union. All they want to do is basically just complain about their situation as opposed to doing anything about it.
And I think that's what it is. There's a lot of hurt people running around here that have experienced some pretty bad relationships They've had some pretty bad experiences. And now what they're doing is they're internalizing those bad experiences. So now when a day like this comes up where you're supposed to be celebrating love and expressing a feeling of how can I say of connecting with that person that you're with. Now you have these people
Mhm.
running around here with this messed up mentality that, you know what, this is a bad thing. Now there may be, like I am verbal says, she really doesn't care about it, and you know, to each their own, because there might be some women that just don't care about it. So I'm not shitting on the people that don't care about it, just like there are some women that just don't care to be in a relationship, period. So I do understand that there are some people that just really don't care about the holidays. But for those that do care, don't make it bad for those women. Like I am verbal said that she does
Mhm.
not begrudge it to anyone else. And that's what I'm talking about. Like if you don't care, that's one thing, but don't begrudge it for anybody else. Like me, you know, I've had bad, good and bad relationships, the good and the bad. But I still believe in love. I still believe in expressing love to my loved ones. So Valentine's Day for me is one of many days that I can do that, and I can do so outside of the normal setting. I can be somewhere with my guy and he creates this experience for me that's awesome. And I can
Mhm.
create an experience for him too that's awesome. And it's something that you do that's outside of the norm. It's beautiful, and it shouldn't be something that you begrudge one another. I wonder if people really understand what it means to do something outside of the ordinary, something extraordinary for your loved one.
Yeah, they probably don't. And I agree. There's a lot of people who are hurt and they're carrying their pain with them instead of getting help. You see people go on and on complaining about men and women that I guess didn't want them or they don't want, but it's like, why complain about someone who doesn't want you? If anything, you should move on to someone else and, you know, kind of not necessarily search for someone, but, you know, focus on yourself, self improvement, focus on your purpose. And eventually, if you improve your environment, you're going to be interacting with different people who may be in a better headspace if you're in a better environment. And eventually you'll meet people and you'll find someone who might not necessarily be perfect, but could be perfect for you. You can't give up. And there's nothing wrong with being happily single if you are happily single. And instead of Valentine's Day, you're celebrating Galentine's Day. You know, whatever your deal is, that's your deal. But I agree that we shouldn't step on someone else's sandcastle just because ours doesn't look the way we want it to look. And you know, saying that celebrating and showing love is simping and treating each other like we are animals in the street is the reason why we have a hard time collectively forming families and building a bond. Because how can you form a family and build a bond if you don't want to show appreciation for someone all throughout the year, including this one day where different businesses and venues do special things with a Valentine's Day theme that can give you a good experience. That's what you're paying for, is an experience. It's not
Exactly.
chocolate per se. It's not food per se. It's not this or that, but it's the entire experience. And there's a lot of people who are like, you know what? I don't care about the experience. I'd rather stay home. And that's where the whole Netflix and chill comes from. And that presents different problems like not connecting, making poor decisions as far as getting with someone and not actually caring about each other. And eventually you have a lot of problems that leads to divorce rate, children out of wedlock, not getting along with your significant other, and also just walking around and being hurt as opposed to understanding that there is someone out there who might not be perfect, but perfect for you.
Exactly. And that's the key. Now, here's the thing. I want to talk about that panel, and I want to talk about some of the clown talk that I heard
Lots of
on that
clown talk.
panel. Yes, because there were a lot of men up there and they were doing a lot of mansplaining about why Valentine's Day is for simps. And I think that you were trying to explain to them that like you said, it's an experience, and then it's also a day where you can get different packages because of the Valentine's Day holiday that you wouldn't normally get any other day. And they kind of cut you off and they called it the simp package and they weren't interested in learning anything more about it. So, I mean, what do you think about the language that you learned on that panel, and things that you experienced about them trying to shame you for wanting to show your woman a good time on Valentine's Day? No audio. You're muted.
Yep, rookie mistake. It's a shame that Grandmaster Troll took the stream down, and hopefully he brings it back up. But yeah, the language that was used, I was called the simp. They were talking about a simp package for Valentine's Day. And, I think they talked about my weight, and, it got real degenerate. And when it boils down to it, they weren't really trying to hear it because, in my opinion, they have a problem with women. So it wasn't really Valentine's Day. It was just doing things for women. And that's why I had to question, okay, if you're not trying to appeal to women, who are you trying to appeal to? And they got quiet. So there was a lot of shaming language. There was a lot of trying to get me to not do what I wanted to do to show a great time for my special lady, but it was getting me to do what they wanted to do, which is basically, have her cook on Valentine's Day or do nothing, or I don't know, just it was a bunch of clown talk and nonsense. And I was, while reading the chat, I could tell a lot of people weren't following. And when it boils down to it, you had a lot of men who basically were broke, and they didn't want to admit they were broke. But when they cammed up, the whole world saw that they were living in squalor. So very, very sad. And I really hate that they weren't trying to hear the benefits that I was trying to present as to why they should take their women out for Valentine's Day if they have women. Because when I mentioned the Valentine's Day packages, the experience, the different gifts that are only available once a year, they weren't trying to hear it. All they wanted to know is, what hooker they can pick up, because that language was also used on the
Yeah,
panel.
I heard one of them guys say that they would pay $40 for a hooker. But now they could have taken that same $40 and got a pretty nice Valentine's Day arrangement for their
Mm-hmm.
significant other. And it would
Yeah,
have been something, nice, nice teddy bear, nice rose, or dozen roses. Dozen roses doesn't cost that much these days.
yeah, it doesn't. And people don't have to be like me. I like nice things. I like to treat my woman to nice things. They don't have to do it. You literally can, if you want to, get a picnic basket with some food and a blanket and go to the park. Or, I mean, you could do Valentine's Day at home. Nothing wrong with that. To each its own. It's just the men on the panel, and even some of the women, they were talking about not doing anything. And it's just like, okay, so are you celebrating each other every day but Valentine's Day? And when it boiled down to it, when you heard them, do more explaining, they weren't trying to celebrate their significant other at all. They called showing appreciation simping. And see, we have to be careful when it comes to the shaming language and this different verbiage, because a lot of times the reason why there's a gender war between black men and black women is because we're viewing each other as less than, or even acting antagonistic to each other, as opposed to being loving and caring and showing concern. So that's the language I heard, that they really had a problem with just showing appreciation. And it got to a point where all they wanted to do was be children. And unfortunately, I got down to their level. It did feel good, but I sunk down to their level, and it devolved into a low vibration conversation. And I shouldn't have done that. But I did it because I feel like they weren't really
Well,
just
they kind of took you there.
right.
But I
They
do
did.
want to I do want to acknowledge the people that came into the chat room, and acknowledge some of the comments in the comment section real quickly.
Okay.
So I just want to shout out to I Am Verbal. Shout out to Sheila E, the Quiet Storm. What's up, sis? And shout out to NC Worker. Make It Happen, Manny. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And let me see, did I get everybody? I believe I did. So now I want to go
Also
ahead.
Al Banks.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Al Banks. What's up, Al? All right. So I want to read some of these comments. I am verbal made quite a few comments that I think were pretty valid here.
Okay.
She says, I think men who say they don't celebrate holidays are broke and are using religious beliefs as an excuse to be cheap. And I want to talk about this comment. Great observation, by the way. I am verbal because that's exactly the vibe that I was getting. These guys get really religious around Christmas time. They get really religious around Valentine's Day. They get super religious around all the holidays that involve dun 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 spending money.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Is it just me, or have you noticed it too, CK?
I noticed it because I was on the panel and I was like, us using religion. Let me get my actual note. I was like, people get real religious and historical when the concept of spending money comes up in celebration. So, a housewarming engagement, a wedding, Christmas, birthday, Valentine's Day. All of a sudden, they're deep in whatever religious text that they're in. When you're asked to to get a gift or do something nice. And one thing I want to be a takeaway is that you don't have to do anything as far as outside your budget, or really you don't have to spend money, period. It's possible to celebrate Valentine's Day and not spend a dime. You can, I mean, if you and your significant other want to stay home and cook a nice meal together, or if y'all want to go to the park, or if you want to just take a walk in the park, whatever you want to do, it's kind of like you don't have to participate in anything. The points that I was making was there are packages and different items that you can purchase or get, or an experience that you can see that you're not going to be able to see any other time of year. So, for example, here in Vegas at the casinos, they're going to decorate their conservatories with a lot of Valentine's Day themes. That's free. You can go and see that stuff for free, take pictures and have a great time, not spend a dime. Really, in every city that you're in, there's going to be something that you can go see with your significant other and have a great experience, have a great time. And that's really what the takeaway needs to be, is spending time together, bonding, showing care and concern, and just creating memories. See, when it comes to these conversations, we drop the ball and not understanding that the reason why a lot of us, and I'm speaking to the men at this point, and I guess the women as well, so everybody, the reason why a lot of times we aren't able to get these connections or have these connections or get with people that we want to get with is because we're so focused on getting in the bedroom, but not everything else, which goes to connecting, being compatible, and ultimately making memories.
I agree. Now, also, Make It Happen Manny also agrees with you, by the way. He says, I always made sure my girl felt special on Valentine's Day. I don't see what's so bad about that. CommendableK, they were using ad hominem attacks against you tonight.
Yes.
They were saying that, hey, you just want to eat. That's the reason why you like to take your girl out. And
Right.
what were they saying, that you're eating slave food and pork
Yeah.
chops and yeah,
Chitlins. They went on and on about
chitlins.
chitlin shakes. And the thing about it is, unfortunately, they used a lot of language that would be deemed like white supremacist, because when it comes to black people, ADOS or foundational black, our history is in our ancestors having to cook and eat what's known as slave food, which we call soul food now. So I was noticing that every time they were attacking, they were using something that was derogatory towards black people. And see, because they cammed up eventually and they were black, it just kind of troubles me that they would use derogatory terms about black people against me. And that really was sad to me, because they were talking about chitlin shakes. I'm going to eat chitlins. And then, and I'm going to say his name, even Zach Stay Focused. He was like, he's tired of black people. And it's like, why are we saying all these derogatory things about black people to attack me? So I think that they may have not necessarily had a problem with me per se, but it may be because the things that I was saying was because I was black. So I don't know if we want
What
to take the
but
conversation. Oh, go ahead.
what well the thing about it is I think they had a problem with you because you represent the type of man that they probably could never be. You
Yeah.
know, and they could be it if they worked at themselves, but that's what it is. You make them look bad. When you talk about taking your woman to 5-star restaurants or Michelin 3 restaurants, they don't know what a Michelin 3 restaurant is.
Yeah.
They probably never even been to a regular 5-star restaurant. And they can't even fathom the thought of going to a Michelin 3 restaurant and spending $300-400 just for their woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
because
you know,
most of their
when they
insults were talking. Oh,
no, I was gonna say
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
when they see a man like you that doesn't mind putting a smile on his woman's face and making a day special for her, they see you as the enemy. You are the enemy,
Yeah,
CK. You basically did you see how they formed forces like Voltron on you?
they did. It was like 4 or 5 on 1 at one point. I think what it, because they were using insults like going to McDonald's and stuff. That probably is the extent of I guess their pedigree. Because when it boils down to it, I think, I guess to pat myself on the back, I consider myself to be a decent person, and I think what I represent is a decent person that a lot of women may want to level up to, and they want black women to stay loyal to the bottom of the barrel. And anytime black women talks about leveling up and picking better, their response by a lot of these men who are dusty is always, "You think you better than me." And
Exactly.
at one point, Grandmaster Troll, I guess he read a super chat and somebody had challenged me to bet to support Grandmaster Troll and donate, and I donated and supported him. He has a really entertaining program, and even though it's fuckery, it still is entertainment, and I like supporting black people. So I gave a $50 super chat just to kind of just to show support and to meet the challenge. And I challenged that one guy on there, King Kunta, and he did everything but at least give $5. So yeah, a lot of them, they were threatened because I was representing someone who not only was wanting to show my woman a good time and show her the finer things in life and show work on myself, improve myself, and be a benefit to my obligation, which is my significant other, but also I was supporting black business. So when I started talking about that, they immediately started to deflect, use shaming language, moving the goalposts, and it got really, really horrible, really, really fast.
But can you imagine? I'm just trying to imagine. I can't even fathom, but I'm just gonna try being like one of those guys. Zach, stay focused. I don't want to say use Zach all the time. Who's the other guy on the panel that was talking a lot of
King
crap?
King Kunta. It was King Kunta. I
Uh,
was calling him King Cunt. Yeah.
right, that was some funny stuff. King Cunt, a
and
king
he
of the
and he cammed
Dusties.
up. Yeah, he cammed up and was looking like Master Splinter off of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, I kid you not.
Well,
I thought he
I called him king of the Dusties and king of Blackistan. Okay,
Yeah,
but
that's what they were.
I couldn't fathom and I couldn't imagine being King Kunta's woman. Okay. And I'm sitting up here, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm accepting the cheating and the lying and all of the stuff that he's putting down. And he's never shown me on any particular day, let alone Valentine's Day, that he's appreciated me as his woman and all the sacrifices that I'm making for him. I
Mm-hmm.
just couldn't fathom that type of relationship. Do you know that the minute a guy comes into this woman's life that is about something and shows her something totally different, could you imagine a man taking King Kunta's woman to Ocean 44?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know you're a high value man. You know what Ocean 44 is.
Yeah, I do. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay, well, you're high value. I put you in high value category.
I
But
appreciate it. You're too kind.
could you imagine if someone took her to Ocean 44 where the ambiance is candlelights and you have like tabletops with the actual white cloth on it. You have
Mm-hmm.
the waiters wearing actual tuxedos. You
Yep.
have the hostess wearing the actual hostess dress. I mean, she's elegant.
Mm-hmm.
There's elegant music playing in the background. And
Mm-hmm.
all of these chefs that cook the different, like the pastry chef is going to come out and serve you the pastry dish. You have the main entree chef is going to come out and serve you the main entree. And they're going to stand there and watch you take the first bite and ask you if everything is to your liking. I mean, these are the type of restaurants that my guy takes me to.
Okay,
Can
that's
you imagine the first time if a guy ever were to take his woman to a restaurant like that? Do you know that a guy could take his woman just by one trip to Ocean 44? Just for one trip. Could you
it.
imagine what that would look like?
She's going to have a red pill moment because her man doesn't do that or can't do that. And let's say if she goes out with someone and he takes her to that spot, she's going to go back and say, hey, King Kunta, or hey, King Kunta, I went to Ocean 44. I went to Barry Steakhouse. I went to this really great restaurant. How about you and I go back there if you want to be with me? And then he's going to look it up and be like, nah, we're not going. If anything, we can just stay home and Netflix and chill. So what's going to happen is she's going to get her red pill moment. She's going to level up without even having to listen to any YouTube stream about leveling up. And she's going to leave King Kunta, Zach Say Focus, and people like that in the dust. And now they're going to be like trying to fight her, trying to pick her up and throw her in a dumpster, hit her upside the head with a skateboard, and saying, you think you're better than me. Because when it boils down to it, we as people should appreciate and indulge in the finer things in life. Not all the time, but at least sometime. And once you get a taste of, I'm going to say excellence, because I grew up in the thought process of Black excellence, that we as Black people are amazing and we're the best. Once you get a taste of that, you're not trying to go back. You're not trying to go back to struggle love. You're not trying to go back to, being a mammy or being anything like that. You're not trying to go back to the thought process of, well, I'm gonna be a big mama when I grow up. No. You're going to want to travel the world, see things, have experiences, and you're going to want to surround yourself with people who also want finer things. And a lot of these guys are going to say, oh, you think you're better than us. Now they're trying to, bite your eye out and do different things like that just because you want better for yourself.
Exactly. And CK, it happens all the time. I'll never forget the first time I got my red pill moment that I needed to level up as a woman and look at men differently was when I went from dating Pookie and Ray Ray from the hood. He has a little job at Popeyes, and every now and then we might get the 2 for 2 special at Arby's. And one day this guy pulled up alongside of me and he was in a limousine. Okay. And my eyes popped out because I was like, oh, look at this. And it was a BMW limo.
Nice.
And when he got out, this was the guy that actually was the owner of the limo service. Okay. So he's like getting my number and stuff like that. He's picking me up in the limo. He's driving me around town. His driver, because me and him are in the back of the limo. But he has his driver driving me around Chicago in this limo all day long. And he takes me to his yacht. He had a yacht. And I'm young at the time. So all of this stuff is blowing my mind because the guys in my neighborhood, they weren't doing this, Mm-hmm. So like the first time you get a taste of what it's like on the other side, it's game over.
It is. And a lot of guys are going to say, oh, Faith, you think you're better than us because you got the limo ride, the BMW limo ride. Yeah, that's just it. And again, we're not trying to shame anyone who can afford something because you can have the finer things in life within your budget. The idea is to not knock anyone who wants to have their experience and to perhaps have your own experience within your means because again, you can still go to the park and have a great time. You can, do things within your budget. There's a lot of things you could do for free, like I mentioned here in Vegas with the conservatorium, and they decorate it really nice. You can take pictures and have a great experience. The key thing is experience and understanding that there is better out there. You just have to want it. And when it comes to these panels, and right now at this point I'm kind of ranting, like a little mini rant. When you hear people on these panels and they're saying stuff that are basically trying to get people to lower their standards, you have to understand that you might be listening to someone who their bed is on the ground because they're sleeping on a pallet, like there's no mattress, there's no bed. Or you could be talking to someone who lives in a basement, lives in their mom's basement. And when people don't have their camera on and they're talking all this big stuff, they could be leading you down a path of being lower upper echelon of society, being low tier, low class. And we as adults don't deserve that, especially when it comes to showing appreciation for each other and connecting.
Exactly. And here's the thing, my bed is on the ground, so I'm gonna need you to lower your standards as low as my bed is on this ground. Is basically what CK is saying. And that's a shame because if these guys running around here saying they think they're better than us, then maybe they are better than you, and maybe that's a sign that you need to compete. You need to raise your standards. But see, these guys, is okay when they're telling black women to compete as far as losing weight and becoming more aesthetically pleasing. But when these women are competing, they're losing weight, they're becoming more aesthetically pleasing, they're getting the education, they're elevating themselves. What are they elevating themselves for? Should she be elevating herself for Pookie on the corner that's sleeping on his air mattress in his grandma's basement? Or should she be elevating herself for maybe Bradley, who has actually worked on himself too? He has a business, or he has a very lucrative career, and he's a high value man, and he's willing to take her out and show her a great time. So you gotta look at it, weigh it. I mean, hey, she leveled up and she made herself better. Why would she level herself up and make herself better just so she can lay on the air mattress with you?
Yeah, it probably has holes in it and it's like the air's coming out. Yeah, it was a mess tonight on that stream. It was a real mess, especially when you look around. They called themselves trying to roast me and everything, and then when they cammed up for like a few minutes, I guess they thought that I wasn't paying attention, and I'm looking and I'm like, wait a minute, man. You have crust on your eyes, crust on your lips. What are you doing here? Like, why? And then after King Kunta cammed up and he started saying, well, his camera's messed up, his room's messed up. And I'm like, I was talking to him like, you're trying to tell me to clean my house, as in saying different negative things about me, talking about a chitlin milkshake, and I'm going to be eating chitlins. And nothing, if people eat chitlins, that's their business. But he was trying to use slave food, that some people call it, to put me down. But then when he cammed up and he had all these problems over there, that shows you that he might have been projecting his pain, anger, whatever was bothering him from his past, maybe unresolved childhood issues, who knows, onto me to get me to feel ashamed that I want to take my woman out and show her a good time. Even when I said that I want to show my woman off, they were like, oh, that's simping. That's simping. You don't want to show a woman off. You shouldn't do that. And when it boiled down to it, the more they were saying negative things about showing a woman a good time, connecting with a woman, and overall being with a woman, I had to question their sexuality, especially when King Kunta started talking about my penis. I'm like, well, wait a minute, guy. What are we doing? What are we doing in the manosphere in Black YouTube when a man is talking to another man and wanting to talk about his penis? Didn't we have the same thing with Kevin Samuels? He did that, and we're all like, this is crazy. But then it happens to me, and I'm trying to point this out to the other guys on the panel. All they do is put their capes on and protect this guy who wants to talk about my member. Craziness. So I don't know if Faith is still there. She might have had a reception issue, so I'll just kind of carry it till she gets back. And just the fact that when we're hearing people use shaming language, usually it's because they don't want us to be prosperous. They don't want us to have economic upward mobility, economic advancement. They don't want us to have nice things. And I even said, if you guys are pro-Black, you're for Black people, that's great. You can actually support Black business on Valentine's Day and any other day and help them out. And when pointing that out, and the fact that, I supported GMT and gave the $50 super chat, and they were sitting back not doing anything, and they were letting people in the chat, I guess, contribute on their behalf, and they still didn't want to meet, they met the goal. It took a whole hour. This shows you that a lot of times we're surrounded by people who are not really in our corner. Faith, are you back?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to take a phone call real quick from my dispatcher.
Okay, no worries. But yeah, I was just talking
But
about.
but go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was just talking about how sometimes we have people who are on our panels or who are surrounding us who they say they support us, but then when they're challenged to support us, they drop the ball because they're not really in our corner. And that's the reason why a lot of us fail, because we're not surrounded by people who want to see us do well. They want to pick and choose their support as opposed to supporting us 100% and helping us out. And that's why I was saying, the only thing you missed was I was just saying how at one point on the panel, I mentioned that on Valentine's Day, you can support a Black business and help someone out. And they were like, nah, we're not going to do that. That's simping. Go ahead and enjoy your chitlin shakes, eat your chitlins, eat your McDonald's food. And it's just like, well, why, what has happened to the manosphere to where men are so candid and so freely talk about other men's members, a penis, and everyone's okay with it?
Well, but the thing about it is now, I wanted to go up there on Grandmaster Troll's stream, but now if I had said something like that to them, if I had made any innuendo about them having a small penis, if I had made any innuendo about them being gay and really wanting to be with men, they would say that I was, using the old broad attacks, and they would tell me that I was wrong for doing that. They would have shunned me if that was me using that type of shaming language. But these so-called men turned around themselves and used the same shaming language that they would have shunned me for using against you.
Exactly.
So that's very telling.
It's really effeminate. A lot of times someone's true colors come out when they get agitated and get upset. They're able to really say what they wanted to say. And that's, unfortunately, a lot of them use language that was effeminate in nature, white supremacist in nature. And a lot of us have had panels that have pointed out a lot of things that were shown tonight. And it's real shameful because when it boils down to it, they still didn't want to match my contribution to GMT. They still didn't come with an effective argument as to why Valentine's Day is so bad. They mentioned religion and they mentioned history and all these things, this and that. And when it boils down to it, they really just want to be dusty. And I hate using that term. I really hate using that term, but that's the only way I can really describe it, especially when I'm watching and listening in real time that these guys have no problem dealing with bottom of the barrel and being bottom of the barrel, especially in their thinking.
Exactly. And I Am Verbal said, yep, they are a bunch of hypocrites. And that is what sums it up in a nutshell. Hypocrites.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing, CK. All of this extra drama, extra hoopla, name calling, just sitting up here moving the goalpost, basically using religion, all of
Mm-hmm.
this just to get out of spending money for one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
All
pretty
of that.
sad. It was
It was.
really sad.
It really was. Just all the shaming language, everything that normally is said that they say that women are doing, they were doing, just so they could not celebrate Valentine's Day. Like,
And
is
my
was
thing is that this is what black people do, and this is that crabs in a barrel mentality that I've been talking about here for the longest, and it filters over into many different realms.
mm-hmm,
But you have the black people that are actually doing things with their life. They're up there, they made it, they're happy, they want to enjoy life, and so they get with their significant others and they want to celebrate, and there's nothing wrong with that. But then you got these people, the crabs, the Zach Stay Focuses, and what's his name, Kunta, King Kunta or whatever. They sit there and they're mad because they're down at the bottom of the barrel, but they're down there by choice because they don't want to elevate themselves and they don't want you coming around them with an elevated mindset
mm-hmm,
because it makes them look bad. And so they're sitting up there with their little lady crab, and she's looking at this elevated person that managed to get himself out of the barrel. And so Zach and King Kunta is going to try to reach up and pull you down to their level. And I'm so
mm-hmm.
glad you never went down to their level. You stayed on your square the entire time. The
Exactly.
entire time. And,
Exactly.
and
And
what's so crazy is I sent GMT that super chat and I
mm-hmm,
asked to the ladies in the chat room, would you
mm-hmm,
rather be with a guy who's simping, who Zach and King Kunta say is simping, or would you like to be with a guy like Zach and King Kunta that's broke?
mm-hmm.
He ain't trying to do nothing for you. Your birthday come, he gonna open up a scripture. Christmas come, they gonna pull out the Quran. Valentine's Day come, they done found another religion reason why they can't do nothing for you.
mm-hmm.
Would you rather be with them or the so-called simp that bought his woman a nice gift for her birthday, for Valentine's Day, for Christmas? Make it happen. Manny says, I'll take a simp any day over these guys.
Yeah, and see, what's funny is we don't even use the word simp correctly because simp means simpleton, as in like you're slow. Like we'll just say you have a like mental retardation. So we throw around these terms to shame people out of doing nice things for their significant other. So ladies, you got to take heed of stuff like this, in that there's a lot of men out here who will want you to lower your standard, to lower your guard, so you can open your door, open your couch, open your purse, and open your legs to any times they can harry. And then if they get you pregnant because they're trying to pump and dump you, the first thing they're gonna say is, "Well, if you're pregnant, that's you and your baby. I'm out of here." You know what I'm saying? That's what happens when you deal with low standard thinking, low standard people, and then they'll be on a panel talking about these women ain't nothing. These women are ruining everything. They think they're better than us. When in actuality, it's not that they think that they're better. They just live a better lifestyle and are not trying to get bottom of the barrel as far as experience.
Exactly. If me wanting to be able to walk down the street, pump gas in my car, or do any of the things that a person should be able to do freely in the neighborhood without being harassed, makes me think that I'm better than you, then God damn it, I think I'm better than you.
Mm-hmm.
And if me wanting to be with a man that actually has money and he can take care of his family and he's a guy that's a provider as well as a protector, if you think that makes me think I'm better than you, then God damn it, I'm better than you. That doesn't make me feel ashamed or anything. It just
Right.
makes me think that I'm better than you.
Exactly. And we got to draw a line in the sand between, you know, what we want as far as uh just to put it blunt, there are a lot of people who have low value thinking, and those low value thinkers, those low vibration thinkers, low vibration way of living, we got to draw a line in the sand and separate ourselves from them, because they're not going to do anything but see you live a really nice life, and now they want to come kick in your door and take your things. Because when it boils down to it, though, a lot of the men on the panel were parasites.
Yes.
Parasites don't want to use their own resources. They want to use your resources. And if you're not going to be willing to give them stuff for free, like sex, they're going to take it. That's how parasites think. Parasites believe that everything in the world belongs to them, and that if you don't want to just give up your stuff to them, then you're a simp and you think you're better than them. The beggars on the streets are getting more aggressive, especially towards interacting with women and asking you all for money. They're getting more aggressive because, like Faith was saying on one of her series, there's a bum rebellion. Okay, so
Exactly.
with the
But
bum
hold on,
rebel, oh, okay,
I'm gonna let you go because I see my driver pulled up. I'm gonna have to go ahead and make this swap real quick.
okay. Want me to open the panel, or just take over and talk, or
Yeah, you can open the panel. I'll be back.
okay? All right, so we are opening the panel in case anybody wants to. If you saw the stream and you want to kind of speak on what you saw in the Grandmaster's troll stream, or you want to speak on anything that you've heard tonight, maybe you want to defend not celebrating nothing because the white man or religion, whatever your reason is, that's fine. We love to have you come up and just kind of let us know your thoughts, for you to weigh in on this discussion. Really appreciate it. So yeah, at this point, it's open panel. And, when it boils down to, we do need to draw a line in the sand between low value and high value, because I do believe that we should be living, or we should really be living a somewhat of a high class lifestyle. The days of accepting what was given to us might have been back when we were children living in our parents and we didn't have many choices. But now that we are adults and we're adulting, we should definitely get the best things in life, no matter how it is, as long as it's legal, ethical, and logical. So yes, open panel. Anybody can come up. And so Eric Black TV says, y'all capping, y'all want take charge, alpha males, not simps. If it's Dusty versus simp, of course you're gonna simp. But all in all, y'all not with simps or date or smash them, nor respect or stay with them. So what's going on? I am Verbal. Welcome to the panel. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome.
So good. Yeah, I saw the whole stream and everything. And you were saying earlier you should maybe have some. You were perfectly fine on that stream, and sometimes dealing with people like that. Sometimes you just have to speak their language. I mean, it's
Right.
just is what it is sometimes. But I just had a thought when Faith was talking about the whole I'm better than you, narrative, or they think they're better than us narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And I have actually heard Zach says that all the time. I've been on several panels with him. In fact, he was just on a panel with me last night, and he says that all the time. He always goes on these rants. He's actually emotionally unstable. It just is what it is, and it's pretty disturbing. But he says that, oh, these black bees, they think they're better than us, and all this stuff. And it's like, wasn't that exactly what the man who tried to bite that woman's eyeball out said to her before he attempted to bite her eyeball out?
Yeah, he did. Exact same phrase.
So that's right. So that's scary. That kind of hatred, that kind of animal, it's that is not anybody that I would ever want to come in contact with or be friends with. That is a man that would he would cause harm to a woman, because he's so wrapped up in his negative feelings and negative emotions. And instead of getting the help he needs, he is looking for someone to blame. which is what most of these men with those types of talking points. This is what it is, you know, and it's just very sad, and they have absolutely no self-awareness, because if you looked at the chat, no one was agreeing with anything those guys were saying. Like, it was a real, you know, shit show, basically.
Yeah, I saw you down there roasting.
Oh yeah. Oh, I get my troll on when they, because if I don't roast and laugh, I will cry. You know, so I rather just roast and laugh and clown, because they're clowns. They are clowns, and they sound absolutely ridiculous. They get up there nightly and embarrass themselves. I don't understand. They have so. Who is it that they think that they're impressing with this type of language, this type of talk? You're not going to get women talking like this. And the thing is they want women. That's the problem. That's why they're so mad, because they want
do
women.
They want women?
And I don't know. Exactly. That's an absolute good point.
Because the thing is like, okay, for them to go on and on and on about, because this is how I look at it. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I believe that one man should be with one woman with one man. If they're doing polygamist, you know, and they're doing it right, okay, that's different. But a lot of times it should be one man with one woman. So if it's one man with one woman, then why complain about women that don't want you, or women that you no longer interact with? All this complaining and trauma bonding, it basically shows me that what you're dealing with is a lot of men that feel that all women should be enslaved to them. Because because you think about it, if you approach a woman, hey, what's going on? I'm CK, and she's like, no, I'm not interested, or I'm in a relationship, I move on. But with them, because they're complaining and going on and on and on about these complaints, it's more than likely they've internalized being rejected and have not really processed it. I really wanted to say in my closing statement that we should get psychological and psychiatric help. Someone like Dita Rail is a good person to kind of go to, because if people are harboring these negative feelings from unresolved childhood issues, abandonment, trauma from being in a relationship, or stress or whatever, they should get help instead of trying to go online to get some type of therapy.
Absolutely. But they first have to see that they have a problem. You know, you have to admit that the problem is you before you can even attempt to seek help for it. But if your focus is outward, you know, is projection, which is what they engage in, projection, then you got a long road before you even get help. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's very scary, because I've heard them say that before. Oh, they better than me, and they think they're better than us, and all of this. I've heard him say that, and he says it with such vitriol. But really, I just connected it, literally just listening to this, and I thought about that situation in Harlem, and that's what that man said to her before he tried to take her eye out. That's very terrifying. And you know, as a woman, it's very scary. As a woman, and a woman, you know, with young daughters, it's if this is the climate, that's just going to get worse and worse, and no one's going to do anything about it. No one's going to stop it. People are going to brush it off like it's nothing. People sit around and they think that they try to act as though these messages they spread online don't have anything to do with, you know, what people do outside of online, like in real life, and that's patently false. You know, it's pretty frightening. You know, that's why a lot of women are getting armed up, and you know, no one wants to be walking around and just going to the store and have their eye almost bitten out. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Exactly. So
yeah, that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to bring that point up, because that's alarming. And yes, I agree with Faith. Yes, I am better than you. So let's just end that conversation right now. Next topic.
Exactly. So Faith, are you there? Are you back? Okay, so she's not back. So welcome to the panel. We'll go to Al Banks, and after that, make it happen, Manny. So Al Banks, how are you? What's going on?
I'm doing good, brother. How's it going with you?
I'm good.
Oh, that's good. I want to say that I agree with you. We do have to separate
Mm-hmm.
ourselves from those who don't want anything in life to those that do. And as far as any holidays concerned, most folks don't have jobs, or most folks are just lazy to live with their mom. So mom took care of them all their life. All they know is mom and dad. Some probably are even what you call them, like shovel down baby, which means that poverty went down the line. You get what I mean? And they never
Right.
try to break free from that. So with us, I mean, um, there's nothing wrong taking the girl out, treating her a good time. Ain't nothing wrong with showing a woman that you really love her and showing which all things she does to appreciate, especially taking care of your kids and you're married to her, definitely. So
Mm-hmm.
what them brothers talking about back there, don't pay it no mind. You're upstanding guy. Leave that panel alone, if anything. You know what I mean? Stay away from the motherfuckers. Excuse my language, but stay away from them. Because they're
Yep.
going
Yeah.
to put you down and they're going to take you out of your character. And then, you don't want that. You know what I mean? You want to always hold and be a stand up guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. I appreciate that. Yeah. When it boils down to it, you know what I'm saying? If I'll start off with an intelligent conversation, but if people, give low vibration, I
Yeah.
might get low vibration with them, you know what I'm saying? Take it back to the streets. But yeah, I appreciate you, Al Banks. I appreciate it. So did you
Yeah, no
have anything
problem.
else? I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you have anything else before we take it to Manny?
And that's it, bro. I want to tell you that keep your head up and stay away from them guys. Cause they're only gonna say bring out your character. I only listen to you and a couple of others. I don't listen to everybody else. So I don't. I stay out of the fuckery. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate you listening. Definitely subscribe to the Faith Factor and CommendableK YouTube channel if you haven't already done that. We appreciate your support. So
True.
so now we're gonna go to take the mic to make it happen. Manny. Oh, Faith, are you back?
Oh yeah, I'm back, but I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay, okay. Okay, so make it happen, Manny. You got anything for us?
Hey, everybody on the panel. Is my audio okay?
Yep, you're loud and clear.
Okay, cool. I know last time it was a problem. Um, but I wanted to address what I see in the chat and the comments. I think a lot of people have it kind of twisted as far as this whole simp term, and this is coming from someone who's dealt with both. When it comes to appreciating anybody, like to me, it's very weird that it's a derogatory term for appreciating anybody, whether it's appreciating a man for what he does, what he brings to the table, or if it's appreciating your woman and what she does. You know what I'm saying? It's very weird. Like, usually, of course, like there's derogatory terms for people that don't do nothing, that's about nothing, that puts you down, but still wants things. Like, of course, now that's, you gonna we're gonna make some derogatory terms about that, but that's where I feel like people are getting like a mix up, like, oh, y'all don't want simps, y'all want men to take charge. It's like, okay, but what you're getting twisted is just because a man appreciate his woman, he can't take charge in a lot of situations. That's untrue. Just because a man can bring his woman flowers, that don't mean at home he still takes charge on the leadership of that relationship. It's not a it's not a yin and yang. It's not a like it's not a black or white. Like he's just a simp, so he's just, oh, he's simping all day and then that's just it. No, if a man takes it upon himself to appreciate his woman and do something nice for her, that doesn't mean that he can't still take charge in many areas. So I feel like the whole conversation around the word simp is just weird as hell to me. It's just very weird. And like how you were saying earlier, like, do they want women? I'm like, I don't feel they really do, because like that's very weird. Like, because he bring his woman flowers one day on the and excuse me for laughing, but he bring his woman flowers one day on the 14th. Oh my God, he's a simp. Oh my God, he's simping. Okay, but on the 15th, I mean, even at the end of the 14th, all day on the 14th, still, even you making the initiative to do anything is you being dominant, period. So I'm trying to figure out where's this whole simp thing. Like they had to, you have to take it upon yourself to do anything for anybody as a human, period. If I don't want to do anything, I'm not going to do it. If he doesn't want to do anything, he's not going to do it. If she don't want to do anything, she's not going to do it. We all have free will at the end of the day, right? So I'm like,
Right.
this is pretty weird. Y'all take it upon yourselves to dub someone who's showing appreciation one time, we're not even talking about, okay, they're all year long, they're just on their knees and water is being spat in their face. That's not the case. But the one time someone is taking it upon themselves to show appreciation to someone, they're simping, is is untrue, and it's weird as hell. It's very weird. But I don't have no quarrel for people that's showing appreciation to anyone who they are appreciative of. Like, that's weird as hell. That's what you should. You know what I'm saying? That's what we should be doing, just as people. I should be showing appreciation to you, and you should be showing appreciation to me, regardless of gender or anything. It's just weird as hell.
Yeah, I agree. So, Faith, you got anything? I didn't know sure if you were, if you had
Yeah,
any.
I was just listening. I didn't hear what everybody had to say. Did I am verbal already get a chance to speak?
Yeah, she did. But I mean,
Okay.
we'll go back around. So,
Yeah, well, the whole thing, because I'm seeing that Arab Black TV is down here in the comments section. I highlighted a couple of his comments because I wanted to talk about them. But he says, because the world is watching and monitoring who y'all, I guess he's talking about us women, who y'all really adore and who y'all really with and respond to. People not trying to lie on women, they talking about what they see. So that was Arab Black's TV response to everything that I guess he's heard on the panel. And basically, I don't know if I disagree too much with what he says, because there is a certain segment of women that do respond to a certain type of man. If you know what I'm talking about, that swag. That word swag is thrown around a lot.
yeah, swag, style, charisma.
Yeah, swag, style, charisma. So I'm not going to sit up
Hmm.
here and pretend like I'm blind, like I don't see that. But then these same women are also complaining about these swag, style, charisma guys not appreciating them. So it's not that they don't have a desire to be appreciated. That's not what these women are saying at all. They still want to be appreciated. They still want to be wined. They still want to be dined. They still want men to fawn over them and give them gifts. But they're just basically saying that they also like the guy with the swag, the style, and the charisma. If you ask these women, what they really wanted, they would probably describe these guys that you're talking about, Arab Black TV, and I'm talking specifically to you in the chat because you made that comment. They would probably say that they want those same guys with that swag, style, and charisma, but with the same type of money and the same type of attitude as the so-called simp when it comes to appreciating them and showing them a good time. So just because women like a certain type of guy doesn't mean that negates the fact that these women want to be adored and want to be pampered. That's what I'm trying to explain. But
Right.
anybody have anything that they want to say to
Yeah,
that?
I do, because I think when we're talking about swag, style, charisma, what we're really talking about is confidence. And it's not just women who like confident men. Men like confident women too. Everybody is drawn to a confident person. And so I think it's only natural and normal that women want men who present a confident attitude, a confident way about themselves. That is attractive. That is normal. Just because a person has quote unquote swag, which is actually confidence, doesn't mean that they're a bad person or they're going to mistreat you. Like, those two things are not mutually exclusive. So I think we have to separate that from men who are just bad men. You can be a bad man and be corny as I don't know what, which are what these guys are in the manosphere. They're corny. They don't have swag, and they're not good men. So not having swag doesn't equal you're a good dude, and having swag doesn't equal you're a bad dude. So
Exactly.
what's wrong with women liking confident? I like confident men. That's who
Hmm.
I like. I'm not going to be ashamed for that. That's what I like. I like being more confident. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I don't know. You're not entitled to every woman. A woman is not entitled to every man. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. Some are gonna like you, some aren't. Grow up. That's how it is. It's the way of the world. Grow up. That's my thing. People walking around entitled. You're not entitled to anything or anybody. You're not entitled to anyone's attraction or attention or love or sex. You're not entitled to that. So get over it.
Exactly, Verbal. Exactly. I get so sick and tired of men using this as a shaming tactic to shame women away from what they like. Like you guys can't nobody shame you men from liking big booties and small waists. As a matter of fact, the more guys try to shame you away from it, the more women try to shame you away from it, the more you guys say that you want it. So why would you want to shame a woman from liking what she likes? You guys
Exactly.
stay, trying to program people.
Can I get in? Wait, I'm sorry, Space, but can I get in right at the verbal? I wanted
Yeah,
to
go
give
ahead.
my opinion on your
Oh yeah, I'm done. Make it happen. I'm good.
okay, no, great. Um, but I feel like we kind of bring in like full circle on what I was already saying. How they're trying to make it a black and white. He's either a simp or he's a I don't give a D word about women, period, and that's what all women want. They're making it a black and white. They're not, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's absolutely not true. Just because a man shows appreciation for his woman doesn't mean that he doesn't still exude dominance or still take control over or of leading the relationship on where it's going. But they're trying to make it seem as if there's only black and white. And when I first came up here, that's exactly what I was going against. It's not that. And I even put a comment in the chat before I even came up on the panel where I was like, there's definitely like when it comes to the word simp, I'm like, there's definitely not like just a yin and yang. There's definitely like a constant flow. You have people who are extremists and everything, no matter if the groups they join or whatever the hell. You can have extremists in this, extremists in that. You can have some folks who are more conservative that feel like, well, on this and that, on that and that. You can have more folks who are liberal on these things, but they're more conservative on these things. So it's not a black and white, but they're trying to make it seem like it's black and white. They're either simping, so they're less of a man because they're showing appreciation, even if it's sometimes. That's the weird thing. Even if a man is showing like every blue moon, which I feel like a lot of these men are extremists because Valentine's Day is one day. That's one day. You still got 364 days out of the year. That man can be showing nothing, you know? But because he's showing appreciation one day, oh, he should automatically accept. It's just weird as hell. These ideologies are just very weird. And that's why as many women as I can, especially in my personal life, as many women as I can that I actually interact with on YouTube or that I know in my personal life and we interact on YouTube as well. I share different panels and content creators. I tell them all the time, like, and it's even some content creators that'll tell you, like, oh yeah, make it happen, money. Like, she was definitely on my panel. She was definitely in my chat. She was saying, don't even waste your energy. I don't like. I hate bringing up that name, so I'm not gonna bring it up. But I don't know why a lot of people go to certain content creators. I'm like, there is, girl, there is no reason to even go over there. We ain't fighting no battles with them. It ain't nothing like that, girl. They just gonna make you feel dumb. You know how like people are crazy, and then they'll spin a crazy narrative and make you feel crazy. I'm like, that's what's gonna happen. Like they gonna spin some stuff, and you gonna feel crazy. Like, well, maybe I'm crazy. Girl, don't even go over there. Like, don't. So you'll never catch me in these spaces, and it's for a reason. It's like, for what? Like, there's nothing wrong with showing appreciation for someone if you appreciate them. Now, if you just meeting them, you don't really know them, and you just doing the most, and you like, then I have to kind of play devil's advocate. Like, wait, like, get to know them. Hold on, like, get to know them, see what they're about, and if you guys, make it whatever the test of your time, because I guess everybody's time is different, then there is absolutely nothing wrong with showing appreciation for that person. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But there's no black and white, especially when it comes to one day. And I'm an advocate for not no one day. If you only show me appreciation one day, we have a serious problem. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. So we can go to the next person on the panel.
All right. Well, I do want to go ahead and welcome Rue to the channel. What's up, Rue? Then.
What's up? What's up, Faith? How you doing? What's up, everybody else on the panel? How y'all doing? What
What's
I'm
up, Red?
what I'm confused by is this word. This word simping. I don't look. I'm to the point. I don't even know what it means at this point. Like I'm confused that. All right, all right. You have a man and a woman. They actually they converse on a regular basis. They converse on a more intimate level, right? They spend quality time with one another. So it's nobody's being fooled or being led on. Like when you are there with somebody, like, and then you also know when somebody could be just playing with you. We talking about when you emotionally caught up with somebody, like this is your dude, and he know you his girl, right? If that's the case, it's no such thing as simping if a man is going to do something nice for this woman. It's no simping when those situations come about, right? Like it's only simping if you are actually busting your ass trying to impress a woman. You trying to do all the things that's supposed to be good for a woman who do not fuck with you. The woman don't fuck with you like that. She playing with you, not your girlfriend, not your wife, not your baby mama, not your no. We talking about a woman who she's out of your league, or she pretty much she fucking with so many different guys, and she just giving you a little charity every now and then. But she's not your girl, and yeah, you just breaking your back to take her out and buy her shit. Yeah, at that moment you are simping, and I would tell any man not to ever do no shit like that. All right, and getting to the point where I'm listening to you ladies and you speaking about this man who's charismatic, he's charming, he got the swag, he got the vibe, or he got the sex appeal, and on top of that, he's financially secure. He's pretty good financially. The part where a lot of women get lost is when they believe that a man like that is supposed to only be for her. And it doesn't mean that he has to go and fuck different women. But we talking about just simply he being there for multiple women, knowing that it's a lot more women in the world than men. That's just facts. If you happen to have a man who could actually take care of you, or he can take care of not just you but your kids, or not just your kids but your mother. And on top of that, he's a damn good looking guy, and he got the flavor that makes you say, God damn, this nigga, he got it. Like he trigger your right emotions, your wrong emotions. He exactly know what to do when it comes to you. You know how to take care of you as a person. Okay, why would you not think that this guy would actually attract other women too? And if he had to actually help another woman, why do the majority of women become so possessive and selfish because they want to be, to where they don't understand that if you happen to get a man like this man may be for other women too, because other women may need the same type of guy. Just because you met him, that's cool. But if you acting so possessive over this guy, you showing that you just want to stun on other women, that you got this hell of a nigga. Like as if you don't give a fuck about the plight of other women, but you for the sisterhood. See what I'm saying? That's the part that a lot of men look at you and say, well, hold on. You don't mind me doing these things for you, but if I help another woman, you think I'm got to be fucking her to help her? What about her kids though? Like, what if her kids needed help? What if her kids needed school supplies, clothes, food? So you telling me I'm not supposed to do nothing for her, but I can do everything for your children and for you because I'm your man? And how do you think I'm supposed to respond to that kind of shit when I got a lot of love and a lot of money and a lot of goddamn just energy to give to multiple folks? See, the women, and I'm not telling women to put up with a man cheating. I'm saying that the women who don't sweat men on what they do with their dick, if you're not so focused and concerned on what a nigga's doing with his dick, you gonna get all the perks from his goddamn dude. Because he's not gonna feel obligated to you. Since when a lot of women start trying to come in and they wanna try to take claim of a nigga and try to castrate a nigga, It's when a man who can do for you, and a lot of folks, he really get turned off by you to where he look at you as somebody who's an enemy, like you're an enemy eventually, because you don't care about nobody else but yourself. And that's a major turnoff for a man who can give, because men, we feel good. I promise you. We are at our strength when we realize that we can actually give to people. And a woman trying to deprive a man of his chance to give to a person because she's selfish is the reason why a lot of women is going to remain single. The women who don't care about men and what they do, I'm not saying you don't care about him as a person, but you're not sweating that little bullshit. He's gonna always look out for you because he know you understand him. And it's no different in an actual woman. Like you ladies on a panel, if you are one of those type of nurturing women and you can give to a lot of, let's say, people, a lot of children, why would a man stop that? Like, why would he stop you from doing that? And how would you feel about a guy who try to deprive you from your womanhood, from your femininity, and on top of that, when you've been a staple, a rock, a glue into so many people's lives, he want to really cut you off from that to be all about him, and he's not going to really treat you right. The majority of guys who are possessive, they're not possessive because they really want to do the right things for a woman. They want to have a woman pretty much be on top of her shit. He's doing it because he want to have a chance to abuse her without answering to no other nigga. You see what I'm saying? That's how that normally goes. He's not, these so-called good niggas who don't have the character, the charisma and the swag. They just want a chance to be able to fuck and get some of that good pussy, like a lot of them goddamn Pookie and Ray Ray niggas who these niggas despise. But they don't have no plans of marrying you and making you an honest woman and doing right by you. They don't care about that kind of shit. They just want the pussy. They just mad because you ain't giving it to them. You ain't giving them the same type of attention that you giving a nigga who he feel is qualified. He's more qualified than. You understand what I mean? So I just wanted to speak on that a little quick. I just wanted to show you, just based on, how we actually can get along if we just change our mindset and take the selfishness out the shit. There ain't no simping. Ain't no simping if you're doing something right for a woman. For a woman who you fuck with, who you love, and who she love you, you're not simping. All right? I just want to say that. Thank you.
Hoo-wee. Okay, Rude. You done ignited a flame in the chat
You
room.
know how he, girl,
brother.
you know how he do. You know how he does.
So we got so many people responding. Sir Anthony says, you're saying that it's cool for a dude that has a woman to break off another woman and her kids?
What I'm saying is that if a man, like in a small space, right? If your man, Faith, if your man, let me show you what I mean. Let's say, for instance, right? If CK is your man, I think CK is your man, low key, right? But look, if CK is he's your man. Let's just say he's your man, and you got the 3 women on the panel right now.
Rude is joking because
no.
I got some people watching, so Rude is just joking. Go ahead.
He's like, disclaimer.
Yeah, I'm just giving a quick example. If he's your man, Faith, and you got Verbal and you got Make It Happen Manny on the panel too, right? Let's just say in real life, they are actually around, just like they're around, and they may actually be single women, and you're the only one with a man, but these are your friends. If these women need help and CK can help them, like, why wouldn't you not allow for your man to help your friends if they need help? We talking about them and also their children. We talking about if he got it, why it doesn't have to always be just for you? Why it got to only be for you what he can do and what he can provide? Why can't he provide for the women around? That doesn't mean he's fucking these other 2 women. It means that simply he see where there's a need, and him being a man, you allow him to be a man knowing that he can actually break bread and give to women and children who's associated with you, no different than your mom and your sisters. So what I'm saying, that's what I mean when it comes down to a man who can really do for a bunch of people shouldn't be just only for one goddamn woman, and no woman should require just for this guy to be all about her when it's other women and people who need this same man's help. Now, I'm not saying, Faith, that you can't regulate it. I'm not saying that. But to be outright just stingy and selfish and you depriving these other women, that's wrong in my opinion. So it's no different if me and CK was on the panel and Faith, you CK's woman, but yeah, you cooking some food and I'm hungry too. And I'm supposed to be CK's boy. Well, goddamn, I can't get a plate, especially if I come and break some bread. I can't get a plate, so you can't cook for me because you his woman? Or you can't cook for my children if my children come over and kick with you, with your kids? Like, so you can't do what you can do as a woman for me and mine because you CK's woman? You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, that part right there. It doesn't mean you messing around, Faith. It just you just doing what you do as a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I think I understand what you're saying. But here's the thing: if my man has a problem with me, also serving you a plate and him a plate, then I'm gonna have to veer on the side of what my man wants at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, that's who I have to answer to. So
I'm not,
I know what you're saying, but as a woman, I would not want my man, having a whole bunch of women in his phone calling him, paint my house, fix my sink, do this, do that, do this, do that. My man is constantly running out like Captain Saban because he wants to
so
spread his love to everybody. I don't
oh
think
say
I would
so
be. I wouldn't be okay with that.
all right, so peep this then, right? So the best thing for you, and I'm not telling you what to do, but the best thing for you guys, people who feel that way, is to not have people come around who need your man. It's no different than like I'm not saying I want you to serve my plate the way you serve CK's plate. I'm saying if you're cooking, can I get a plate too if I'm over here? If not, that's cool. But in that case, I should have to come over to the house knowing that you cooking, and I can't even get a goddamn plate. Not just me, but my kids can't even get a plate when we come over. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
yeah,
if
that's
that's the
that's
case,
that's different. Like if I'm already cooking and you're a guest at the house, then yeah, you're gonna eat too.
that's
But I'm
Yeah,
that's
not.
that's
exactly.
But you can't
Everybody
call
eats at
me.
my house.
Right, but you can't call me and ask me, to cook for you. Because see, a
but
lot of
wait, no, no,
times
no.
what'll happen is women will call these guys and ask them to come over to their house and fix their sink, or come
But
over to their house
what
and
if
That
paint
CK
and all this
what
other
if
stuff.
what if CK your man? What if CK he see the need and he offer himself like, hey, you need me to? Hey, I'll come over there and take care of that for you. Like, what if he do that? Like, what if he doing it on his own without the women calling him? Then what?
Yeah, and I
Okay,
say something. This something.
Well,
yeah,
he should just be. He just sounds
This
like
is
he's for the
some.
streets, and he should
It's
just
some
be at
sister
the
wives.
community
Oh,
handyman.
street.
No,
Mm-mm-mm. That's some
it's
sister wives BS he's trying to slip in.
no,
It's a
no.
difference between my girl car is broken and you're gonna help her fix her car and we know about it. You talking
True.
about cooking food, you talking about some whole other level stuff that's some BS sister wives stuff you trying
I'm
to
talking
slip
about
in
helping. I'm talking about
undercover.
helping,
I mean,
helping,
We see you
I
and
just
we
want to
hear
kind of,
you.
jump
We
in
see you and hear you.
because basically what Rude is talking about is, like I talked about this with Information Man. I think Rude is the first person to actually acknowledge this, and that is, most men, let's say black men, for example, we need to give our resources to like someone like a single mother and her children without anything in return, which is altruism, a function of altruism, or get out what you get in, which is Marxism, in order to practice collectivism and tribalism. So the reason why it sounds weird is because as Americans, we grow up in a capitalist society with corporatocracy, and ultimately you're kind of selfish and you have to be trained to be socially accepting of helping another person through
Good
charity.
morning.
So, I mean, myself, I would rather do for myself with my own hand than settle for someone who spreads themselves around. You gain intimacy with someone through sex, and it's hard for someone to be intimate and trust someone who is not being honest about being monogamous. So, a lot of we as black people, we kind of shy away from altruism, Marxism. Well,
hmm
with altruism, with the church or whatever, but
That's not what
we
he's
shy.
talking about.
It
It's
is
nothing.
because he just said that, like you're, let's say I'm
No, he
CK.
mixing a
I'm in a
lot of
hold on,
stuff.
I'm in a
He's saying
relationship with
if
Faith, and
I
then someone
see,
else. It's the same thing. I'm telling you. If I'm in a relationship with Faith and Rude comes around and he's hungry,
I'm giving an
what's
example.
wrong with Faith making myself a plate
no,
and Rude a plate? He just said that. He just said
That's
that.
if no
no, this is
CK. I
no.
want to be
That's
specific
not
though.
that's not
No,
the
no,
only
hold on
thing
one
he's
second. Hold on
talking
one second.
about.
No,
He's
CK.
talking
CK,
about
I'm being
if I
hold on.
see
I'm
him as
talking to
a nice
CK.
guy.
No, to CK. I'm gonna be on very specific when I say this, right? If I'm CK's boy, if I'm CK's homie, not some random nigga. We talking about if I'm his partner. I'm like Tommy and Cole and shit when it come to Martin. I'm his boy. So the same thing when I said to Faith, if Verbal and Make It Happen Manny is her girls to where CK is very much familiar with them and their situation. And if they are struggling to a certain extent, if CK can help, then why can't he just help knowing that these are Faith's friends? No different than how he would help Faith's mother. So how many women on the panel would really respect her man if her mother needed help, but yet he wouldn't even step up for her mother or her sister? You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing.
That
What
was
Right.
about your
not
friends?
But
all
my
that you
my
were. No,
mother
no,
is
no, no,
different
no.
than
That's
my
not all he
friend.
was. That
We
wasn't
talking about
all
based
he
on
was
family.
saying. He also said if I let him like him, cook until he if makes I the like toast what and you have, fruit, honey.
No, what all he said, I like him. Why wouldn't other women see that and be attracted to it? We're not talking about being
No, I know.
altruistic
I'm saying.
and my girl on the side of the road and you helping her with her flat tire. That's not what you're talking about. You're talking
I'm
about
saying
something a
no.
little
What I'm
bit
saying,
more.
stressing.
And you're really
No, I'm
talking
talking about
about
stressing.
community opinion. And if I like you, I
No,
should
we
share
talking
you with
about
my
stressing.
friends, and we should
No,
all be
I'm
happy
not.
about it.
No, ma'am. I'm not talking about sharing. I'm saying that if whatever you found attractive about this guy,
That's how
other
it's
women
coming
gonna
across.
find it. And if you're stressing, if you're gonna stress, that's stressing. Women and men in black
Your
relationships, we stress out
attractiveness
over the
should have
genitals.
nothing to do
No,
with
hold on.
but
Listen. Let me say this
your
hold
part.
on a
Let me
attractiveness
say this
second.
has
part.
nothing to do with the combo. Your attractiveness to them has nothing
Black.
to do with the combo. If you're just
So
being
that's
an
what I'm trying to say. The
all-around
reason why
good
we
guy,
can't really go
your
forward. The
attractiveness is
reason we
not
cannot
part of the
go forward. The reason
conversation
we
Wait a
because
cannot
you
minute.
want
go
some
forward.
sister wives
The reason
polygamy
we
One
cannot
person
go
at a
forward.
time. One person at a time.
Yeah,
Go
you
ahead,
interrupted me
Can
when
I
I'm
say
Culture.
this?
talking. Uh,
That's some sister wives polygamy BS. Your attractiveness, how you look, or
the
nothing
point I
has to
was
do with
making.
you just being a general good guy. Okay, but you're still being rude and cutting me off and not letting me finish. And I
Hurry
was
up. Go
making
ahead.
is whether you're attractive or not is not has nothing to do with the combo. And if you were
All
being
right.
a good guy, you just being a good guy. My friend girl over here sick and she can't mow her yard and you went to mow her yard and expect nothing in return. What does that have to do with your attractiveness?
I'm talking about when it
Go
comes down
ahead.
to the control. When it comes down to the control of the other person's genitals, the reason why black couples can't really go forward because most of the time they stress out and they focus on what the person what they could be doing sexually with somebody else. And what I'm saying is that if you got a guy who's actually attractive and he's financially good, and on top of that, he got the charisma and charm for you to be stressing over who he could be fucking, that's the problem right there. Because you shouldn't be with him if you're so stressing out over who he's fucking with, other than the bigger picture, which is where he can help you become a better person and y'all can build something together. That's what I was saying when it comes down to that part.
Excuse
Like,
me. If I decide to do something for somebody in the community, it doesn't matter their sex or their gender or whether I'm attractive. I'm doing a good deed for a person.
are you hearing what
And
I'm
yes,
saying? Are you hearing what
we're
I'm
not
saying? Are
talking
you hearing what I'm
about.
saying? Or what the fuck?
Yes,
Are you
I
hearing what
hear
I'm saying?
exactly what you're saying.
All right, what am I saying though?
Excuse me.
Because I'm
First of all,
not
I ain't use
talking
no
about.
cuss words with you. I hear exactly what you're saying, and whether you're attractive or not has nothing to do with it. You're trying to mix two different messages. We hear you. I hear the sister wives tinge on what you're saying and the polygamy. Your penis has nothing to do with all that other stuff. So you trying to slip something in like we're not gonna call, like I'm not gonna call it out because I
No,
see what
you
you're
can
saying. I
call it
hear what
out.
you're saying. You ain't said nothing that ain't been said before. And yes, I'm not with community peen and sharing
And
and
are you?
polygamy in the week
And
like a
are
one
you?
big
Do
happy
you have a
family.
man? And do you have a man as we speak?
Yes,
Do
I
you have a
do.
man as we speak?
I'm at work right now. That's why I'm have to jump off of
All
this
right,
here.
well,
But yes,
that's how
I
I
do
know you don't have
have
a
one. I
man
have a
because you at
whole
work right
husband
now.
at home.
Well, you can't have a husband if
No,
you got to
baby,
work
I
right
have a
now.
one. Well, I'm
Okay,
sorry
my
that
point
you.
is
I
that
don't. I'm
so
sorry
you're
that
not
you
even
don't see
speaking
it
about
like
the
that.
kind of
But
man.
I'm not.
We're not even speaking.
You
I ain't
run
speaking the kind
your
of man you
household how
have
you
though.
want to run it, and I
Your
work
man
three
got you
days a
working.
week. I work
Your
3
man
days
got
a
you
week.
working, man.
Baby, when
Understand?
I was
So
working before I
I'm
met
not
my
talking about
man,
a
I've been on
man
this
who
earth a
got you
whole
working. So yeah,
46
you're right. You're
years.
right.
I've been
You're
on.
right. You're
I've been
right.
on this earth
For
a
a woman
whole
like you,
46 years, and I ain't
you
finna
have the
stop
right to make it. You
working.
have
Well,
control over what your
I'm a
man is
happy
doing.
woman who
All
not
right.
sharing my
We
dick.
talking about a man
And
take
most of
care
the
of
time,
you.
when
A
the
man who
men
can
talk
take care
about
of you and not
sharing
just
dick,
you.
he
Everybody else
ain't
in your
even got
family.
enough.
You understand me?
Most of the
We
time, men
talking
talk
about a
about
man who can
sharing dick,
take
don't
care of
even
you
have
and
the
your whole
resources to
family.
have all the wives.
We talking about a man
How
who can
many
take care of
wives
you and
you
your
have,
whole
and how many you
family.
supporting
All right, we're not talking
100%?
about a man who got you out here working
So in
at three,
this
4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Hey,
anytime, baby, I was on this earth a whole 46 years before
yeah,
I
that's
ever
good for
became.
you.
Before I married this man a year ago, I was on this,
That's good.
and
That's
that's
good for
right. Most of
you.
these men who be
So
talking
sad
about
for you too.
polygamy be having
So I'm not
wives
speaking
that's
about the
on
kind
this
of man that you
system that they
have
not
though. All right. So you ain't got to
supporting
even worry
100.
about this
Well, how
conversation.
many women you
Don't
got? How
worry
many
about
women
this
you got?
conversation.
How
Don't worry
many
about the
women you got?
conversation. I don't have none right now, man, because the
I'm worried
mindset of
about the
you.
conversation because some minutes you can't tell me what to worry about because this ain't your panel and I'm gonna state my
All
opinion. So
right,
you ain't
all
gonna
right,
tell me
all
what I
right.
can and
Hold on a
cannot worry about.
second.
If you
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
want
she's
to
I'm
worry
worried
gonna
about
about
I'm
her
it,
gonna
family,
have to
man.
mute the mics. I'm gonna have to mute the mics. All right, we're gonna move this on because there's no point in this anymore. I'm just y'all are talking over each other. All right, who's next? Who hasn't gotten a shot?
Well, Judge Dredd just came on the panel.
Okay, Judge Dre, thank you. Hold on a second. Judge Dre, welcome to the stream. What did you want to say?
Okay, as I understand exactly where this man is coming from when he says that, and I think it's taken really out of context. Basically, by him saying that, like technically the woman should share the man if he's going to like do something like show something to the kids and stuff like that, help out other people in the community, does not mean that he's screwing them. Because I'm not even gonna lie, you're talking to a gentleman here, like you guys know, I work in the construction field, do many different trades. I'm going to tell you the truth. I have not been taught, not one trade that I learned came from my father. All of it came from married men in my community who showed me something. So I'm not even going to lie. If they had women like her with that opinion right there, I would not be able to support my family as we speak today. Because it was other married men who, even though my mom was a single mother, who stepped up and mentored me, showed me this, how to do this, that, let me tag along with them, even though I'm not their kid. I mean, like literally, if these people, if like women had that mentality back then, I would probably be dead right now. Because unfortunately, I would have had no skills to fall back on after I lost everything. I mean, to know that, and I know exactly where he's coming from because I was actually dating, with my youngest son's mother. That's the problem she had. You're just nice to everybody, this, that, and the other, and you just help everybody's kids. And I told her, I said, well, no offense. If it wasn't for the people who came around when I was younger and they allowed me to tag along and always be nice to kids, that's one of my rules. Under no circumstances will I ever not let somebody else's kids help me if they want to tag along. I don't say no even if I want to. Because if it wasn't for the older people during my generation doing that for me, I wouldn't even be here. To know that I can put food on my table because all these other people who probably went through flack with their wives for being nice to a child that wasn't theirs, who they probably, and I'm not gonna lie, my mother was very attractive, so they probably always thought, now that I think about it now, they probably always thought, yeah, I bet you fucking his mother. I mean, to know,
Yeah.
I mean, to know that them women, no, but I'm a
We all know.
but to know, but to know that if these people didn't go through the flack that they probably got from their wives for letting me tag along, it's like these. I don't even remember these men never spoke to my mom; they only spoke to me. I mean,
Well, can I?
that we've become that selfish.
Can I ask?
Only spoke with you.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Can I just ask? I want to ask Ruth a question. Hey, Ruth, what's going on? Okay, so Ruth, do you believe in monogamous relationships?
If we in a monogamous type of environment, yeah.
No. Do you believe in monogamous relationships, and do you want to engage in one?
Nah, not really. Tell you the truth, not
Exactly. So this is why
Well,
what you're saying and what Koja Malik heard, I understand why she heard what she heard. I know how you talk. I know how you view relationships. And so when you're saying that, oh, it's just about being nice to other people and not about sex at all, I have a hard time believing that that's not where you were going with it. Because I know that you believe in open relationships and no one should be holding anybody down, and no one should be, saying who you can deal with and who you can't deal with. I know how you feel about that. So we're not just talking about, okay, you're my husband and you just and you have resources and you can go and help my family and you can go and help my friends and you can go and help somebody move or whatever here and there. You don't want to be you believe that men should just be able to have sex with whoever they want to, regardless, right? No open relationships.
But I wouldn't really even talk about the sex part because my thing is, hold on, Dre, I'm gonna get to you. My thing is this, all right? It doesn't have to be about the sex per se. It's really a woman trying to tell you what you can and cannot do. Like I could be with one woman if she's not telling me who I can and cannot help. It doesn't mean I got to be fucking different women. It means that she's not even worried about that kind of shit because we are together for a bigger purpose for why we fuck around. It's the women who try to control a man's dick for why she's with him. It's the problem I have with the majority of women. Other than that, I promise you, The reason why I move the way that I move verbal is because the women around me know exactly how I get down. So where if I'm gonna be a benefit to any women around me, you can't try to control my dick for one, let alone try to tell me who I can and cannot help. So I understand it may sound like I was conflating both, some polygamy type shit with just simply just being nice. But what I was saying is that black people, black men and women, we stress out over who a person could be fucking with, other than just being a family,
Right.
other than just being in a couple. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Yeah, but that's a human thing. Everybody does that. It's not relegated to black people.
Can I
I
say
mean,
something?
nobody. It's very common
First
that
of all,
people get attached. Hold on, one second. Let me just finish this. It's very common that people get attached to who they are having sex with, who they fall in love with, and once that happens, it's very normal not to want your man or your woman through slinging it out in the streets to everybody. Like, that's not weird. That's a normal thing, and all humans feel that way. Okay, to a certain extent. Like, so unless you want to engage in an open relationship, which is your right, then you need to be with people who also want to engage in those type of relationships. People who are polyamorous. You are polyamorous, Rude. That's okay. But not everybody is, and that's okay too. That doesn't make them bad people.
True.
Not everybody wants to do what you want to do. And it's okay.
But
Okay.
Can I
how
say?
do you get on that from him just saying
When
helping
those
other
we have
people
all
in the neighborhood and child?
growing
But
up
it had nothing to
She
do with the
explained it
woman.
perfectly. She
in the
explained it
community
perfectly.
who are claiming their head
Okay.
invisible strings have a problem with my people on the street. But that is going to be something we're going to talk about. He still helps his ex aunt. I don't have a problem with him. The difference in what they're talking about is usually those type of people. Other people have invisible strings and ulterior type of people in the community. We've seen them and now my yard these days
Well, this shit
saw me
breaking up.
as
Is
a
that
little
me?
girl with pigtails. We don't all seen them type of
You're
help for
breaking
men
up.
in the
You're
community.
breaking up.
Culture
We don't see
Malik,
them type of
your
help
microphone is breaking up. We can
community.
barely hear you.
Can you leave and come back or
Okay,
something?
I'm
Because
sorry.
you're
My mic
breaking up
is
real
acting up.
bad.
And she ain't talking about
Yeah,
shit.
I
Whatever.
will.
I'll tell you this, sweetie. But listen. I'll tell you this, sweetie. Just because him being nice and other women would want to fuck him and fuck him, as long as he doesn't fuck them, that's all
Yeah.
important. And I'm not even gonna lie. I noticed that nowadays is this. We don't have that type of structure, and I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what the white people do because no offense, I don't care about them. I don't care about the black community. If you really want to be noticed, sorry for the brothers for the brothers, but I don't care about them because technically they don't worry about us like that. But I do agree that there's an absentee of decent people around or decent people who have skills. And unfortunately, like I remember one time I was reading to a little girl who wasn't my kid. It was a coworker's. She came and my girlfriend got mad. Why are you reading? I said, I'm being nice because there's another black person. I said, then this is the problem. I think that we've gotten so selfish or what it always going to be. Yeah, you're going to take that risk that your man might go ahead and sleep with somebody else. But if that's the man's fault. But don't sit up here and say, well, no, that's because of that. Because this man might sleep with somebody else. We ain't gonna help anybody else out in that community, and I believe that's been the downfall of us because we don't help each other out like that at all. Well, I notice when I'm working on these village houses in these white communities, all these neighbors, you be like these neighbors got different men, this, that, and the other. Some are widows, some are this, that, and the other. But them people, the kids should be over that person's house with them, and I be like, see, that's why that they get ahead more than we do. Because them motherfuckers help each other. Like the single people who out there, could be married people helping them, or sometimes the married dude is over the single chick's house helping her, especially when I'm doing these long jobs when I'm rebuilding the kitchen or something. Yeah, and you see the neighbor, and you be like, wow, man, that would have been anybody else. Swear up and down, he was fucking her. But no, I gotta give him credit on that. That's one thing that they got. I ain't gonna lie. That's one thing that they got.
If you say so.
No, I'm
If
raising
you
my
say
hand.
so.
Y'all got time.
Okay.
When y'all got time, I am raising my hand. So continue on.
But I'm just saying. I mean, as you say, like this is the problem too. We got to stop looking at everything glass half full, glass half empty. I mean, sometimes we got to take a risk on our happiness and safety and our mental well-being to help out our fellow man. And that's one of the problems in the black community. We don't do. We don't do that. And then when you wonder why we were in the same rut that we're in, we don't. I've seen a lot of people get flack for, I hate to say, just being a nice guy. Think about it. You don't even say that now. If you nice, as a black man, if you're nice, instead of them saying, man, that dude being nice, nah, he probably trying to fuck her mama. Or he got something else. Like if you see, the first thing that you guys thought about was something negative. When him saying, hey, man, if I can help put the kid out or show him a skill or help the old mother out, that's plain and simple. She might have young children. These kids may grow up and be the future me, as I say. Man, if it wasn't for somebody showing me that electrical, somebody showing me that plumbing, this guy showing me roofing, you know what I mean?
Judge Dre.
They say it takes a village to raise a child. Then I'm done. Go ahead,
Judge Dre, have you subscribed to Rude's channel at all? Have you ever listened to his channel and he's got a really good channel. It's very entertaining. Have you ever listened to him, or is this your first time on a panel with him or hearing him at all?
I think I've heard it before, because I think he likes, but basically I'm going off of what he said right then. Just because a person likes to date multiple women, he said at that time that no, I had nothing to do with sleeping with them.
But listen. Okay, that's fine. But listen,
that's what it is.
I said what I said. I said what I said for a reason, and I know Rude understands exactly why I said what I said, and so does Faith and other people who listen to him. So let's not act like the women up here are going crazy or we're losing our minds or anything. Rude knows exactly why I asked the question that I asked. Because I know that he has said something like this before, though. But that's what I'm saying. I've heard him make this type of commentary before. And in that commentary, it is also about being able, and he's already said it again on this panel, don't be worried about what he does with his dick. Well, how does a woman not worry about that when you're running around helping every woman that you can see? All these women got access to call you. They're calling you at 2 a.m. You're hopping up out the bed. You're leaving dinner to go help somebody. Like, who wants to deal with all of that? That's too much.
That's the point. You don't have to be with a guy like me.
Yes, we're gonna pass the mic.
Is trying to.
Hold on a second. Who's talking? Who's talking?
Koja.
Okay, hold on a second. We want to pass the mic to everybody. Now, who else wanted to speak?
Okay.
They make it happen, Manny.
Wow.
Make it happen, Manny. Go ahead.
I guess she stepped out.
I don't hear anything.
Is she there? Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to CK, because CK, you have been pretty quiet with this topic, and I really wanted to know, what were your thoughts on the whole man being able to help all the women in the neighborhood?
So,
Faith. I said the women that you fuck with. Hold on, Faith. Before you go, before CK go, I'm talking about the women who you are connected to, Faith. I'm not talking about every woman in the neighborhood. Faith, come on. The women, like your friends, your mama, your sister,
they'll be your friend.
Yeah.
Oh, God, y'all are funny.
The women that you know, so that would show. No, but I'm saying he said the women that you know, so that should be women you trust, because any woman that you don't trust, you shouldn't have them around your man. I don't know why.
Okay, all right, I got you. So, CK, what do you think about helping my friend Carol and my friend Bridget and my friend Crystal? How do you feel about being available to all the women in my network?
So here's the thing, I think we're being intellectually dishonest.
I want to hear this,
because if these are Faith's friends or Faith's relatives, if I'm going to give support, Faith is pretty much going to be involved in the whole process. It's not going to be me going behind her back or
Yeah.
me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like so basically it's gonna be like Faith's gonna be like, hey CK, you know, can you go help them? And she'll come with me or do whatever. That way, because we're a team. If we're in a
Thank you.
relationship, we're a team, and it's not gonna be a situation where there's smoke, there's fire. So I think what a lot of people on the panel are alluding to is that it's kind of like trying to sneak off and do it. And if they find me attractive, don't think I'm sleeping with them just because you see smoke, even though usually when there's smoke, there's fire. So
Thank you, CK.
we have to kind of get away from altruism and to just give away resources all willy-nilly, and it has to be somewhat of a reciprocal relationship. So if Faith's friends are in need, Faith and I are going to get together. You know, this is an example. Faith and I are going to get together and be like, okay, we want to help them. What's in it for us? Because I'm all about being selfish and having a reciprocal relationship and not feeding and giving resources to parasites. And that's ultimately what helps raise a village, in that everyone's in a reciprocal relationship, like it was with Black Wall Street. Everyone's helping each other, not someone having their hand out, wanting handouts, and get us giving resources to the unearned.
Thank you for saying that, CK. I appreciate that, because I wanted people to understand. Like, it was two different things I was saying. The first part was simply the simping thing, right? Now I mentioned, you know, men being nice to the woman he's fucking with, and you know, more men would so-called be nice and do good things for women if they, you know, if the women weren't trying to be so controlling of their genitals, right? And then I also spoke on what CK just got to saying, right? If you are a man of means, first and foremost, not a 50-50 type of guy. We're talking about like you are one of those type of guys who can take care of your woman, not just her, any woman that's around her or any child that's around her too. So my thing is, as a man, what sense does it make for me to have a whole woman and she got friends, got a mother, got a sister who need help every now and then, and if I got the money, I can't help these women with Faith being right there, not sneaking behind Faith back to try to go and fuck with her sister without Faith's knowledge. The whole point I was saying is that these are Faith's friends. I gave Make It Happen Manny and Verbal, and I made those examples of them being Faith's friend, and these women could be a little struggling with their bills, or let's say, for instance, a kid might need something, and me and Faith talk about, CK and Faith talk about that, and they agree to go ahead and buy some school supplies, some groceries, some food. That's what they agreed to do. Faith didn't try to deprive. She didn't try to hold back CK from his resources to be able to help her friends who are in need. That's what the point I was making. Like, I don't like if a woman know that her man can actually do for other people that she so-called fuck with, but she try to make sure that he don't do it. But yet she still be in these women's face like as if it's all good. But yet your man was willing to help these women, and you told him no.
I think those are selfish women, though. You know, the way CK is saying it is I totally agree with something like that. Yes, but they're just selfish women. Those are just selfish women. You've been with the majority of women?
Well, hold on a second. Let me respond to Rude real quick, because I understand what you're saying, Rude. Okay, these are women that I mess with, but at the same time, are you volunteering to help my friends without talking to me?
No. That's the whole point what CK was saying, Faith, is that you would know, like, whatever struggle your friend could be going to, it's pretty much you being woman enough to come and tell CK that, hey, look, Carol or somebody, she really just got laid off and she's having a hard time paying her rent. Look, we can I think we can come up with about $1,000 to help her with her rent for this month. So I'm saying, like, you actually involved with your friends being helped.
Okay, well, yeah, that's different because I came to him. But okay, are you telling me, like, what if my friend bypassed me and she just jumped straight over to you and said that she needs some help? Okay, all right. Well, yeah, then I can agree with you.
But if your man CK sees Carol's son who might need some tennis shoes or some school clothes, well, I don't think CK had to come to you to buy that little boy some school clothes or some tennis shoes. I don't think she had to come to you for that. I really don't.
Can I say something?
I think what gets lost in the translation between the men and the women is that men look at it as logic, because we don't really gossip and stuff with women. That's what you guys do. So for us to know a problem that your friend or family member had, the information had to come from you.
Thank you.
Okay, and then who said that they wanted to say something? Wait, 1 second. Koja, go ahead. Go ahead, Koja.
First of all, if my friend, and I got a situation I'm concerned, if my friend needs something, my friend will come to me and I will discuss it with my husband, because in the household we make decisions together how we spend the family monies. Not one person has say so over. That'll be a discussion we'll have together. And if it's my friend, she's gonna come to me and I'll be like, hey, babe, my friends need such and such and such and such. Can I help her? Such and such, and we'll make that decision together. No, you said she'll come. Sure. My friend is not going to come to my man directly. Right. She's going to come through me.
Nobody said no. That's what Faith.
No, Koja. No, that's not what he. That's not what he said. That's not what he said.
Because you're so okay.
She just
he
looking
said,
for
if I know
that she want to argue, I'm not going to argue with you at no 5 o'clock in the morning, lady. I don't know you.
I'm not talking about shut your mouth up. Shut your mouth up.
All right, then let Faith explain to you. Let Faith explain to you what I just got through saying, because you misconstruing everything I just said.
Can let me finish what I'm saying? No, I'm
Faith
not.
Just asked, she's asked, what if her friend want to go to her man and skip her? I said that would be wrong.
Right, Koja. Hold on, Koja. 1 second.
Finish what I'm saying.
Wait, Koja. But I hear what you're saying, Koja. I hear what you're saying, but he's saying is we had already answered that question. He didn't say that the friend, he would go directly to the friend. He's saying that if I go to him and say to the friend. No, he didn't. He clarified.
He said if he sees,
bad comprehension is running rampant on YouTube, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, dog.
Going by, can I finish?
You want to say she's 46 years old? She can't comprehend what the goddamn, man. I did not say what the hell she's trying to say, man. I already explained what I said. No, you can't finish if you're gonna fucking lie on me like that. You lying like that. Now you are lying. Now you are lying. I don't give a damn if I'm being rude right now. You are goddamn lying right now.
Whenever you guys are done,
I'm tired of hearing you, man, because you're gonna misconstrue what the fuck I'm saying to you. I didn't say we were talking to you. Me and Faith and CK already spoke on that, and you now want to come back and want to.
All right. One at a time.
Let's go ahead and table this. Can I finish my statement?
Okay, hold on. Respect. Hold on, Koja, respect the host. CK was talking. Go ahead, CK.
I was saying we got to do it one at a time. I think Rude kind of agreed with what I was saying, and I think we should just kind of dead it at that point because we've kind of gotten off into the weeds, and this was supposed to be about Grandmaster Troll's Valentine's Day Afterstream. So, Rude already clarified that he and I are on the same page.
I don't want to click on Rude's statement, but can I finish the other part? I said,
don't go back down that road.
The issue is that you're kind of putting words.
It has anything to do with Rude's statement. This is not about Rude. I said it had 2 parts, and this is not about Rude. I had a situation where a family member's husband had been laid off, and he asked to borrow money. I went to my cousin.
She about to make up another.
He's working now. He got laid off.
Right.
No, I went to my cousin and I told her, your husband asked to borrow money. Is it okay for me to do it? It was never behind her back. He came to me, but I let her know before I ever did anything or helped them what happened. It was never going to be a secret. And that's how that happened. So we do have women in the community that are not adverse to helping people, but it doesn't come with invisible streams.
Okay, and I get what Koja is saying too, because Rude, let me just point something out. I did hear you say that you pointed out what is the problem if you see Faith's friend, her son needs a pair of shoes and you just go out and get it. Now I would have a problem if you just run out and buy my friend's son some shoes. Because I'm gonna wonder why in the hell are you just running out and buying her kids some shoes and then you didn't talk to me about it?
Yeah, me too, Faith.
Hold on. One thing. Hold on. Time out. What if this kid? Hold on. Let me say this part. What if this kid? Like, say for instance, right? Look at these TV shows like Moesha with Hakeem. You know what I mean? Steve Urkel with Family Matters. What if this son, your friend's son, is very much, he's familiar with the house. He come over and he deal with your husband like that. Like we're not talking about a random kid here. We're not talking about your friend. See, it would be a little different if your friend is going to your man and your man doing shit for your friend without your knowledge. But we saying if your husband was going already, he already know that it's about that time where school, is about to come, about to start again. And yet he know this little 14, 15-year-old boy, because he come over a lot and he realized that the little boy just needs some shoes, though. Do he really have to ask you to go get that little boy some shoes if he go to the mall and get himself some shoes? Like, do he have to ask you for that, for the little boy?
Thank you.
No,
Yes,
but it would be
yes,
nice to say. It would be nice
yes.
to say, "Hey,
No.
babe, you know what? I noticed that he needs some
The
shoes.
answer is
I'm gonna go get him
yes.
some
Say
shoes."
nothing. It's
Yeah,
calm
So
down.
Faith.
yeah.
Let's say for
I
right.
can't
If
say
CK,
nothing.
Every
if
time you
CK,
go to the store, I got a question for you.
if
Every
CK,
time you go
hold
to
on.
the
Wait,
store and buy
wait.
something
We
that ain't on
going
the list,
so
do
far.
you
We
call your
going so
husband?
far into the combo. Like I
If
can't say nothing.
CK, hold on, Faith. If CK had let's say a homeboy who have a daughter who need her hair done, and you actually like just do the girl hair, do you have to ask CK for that kind of shit? I'm just confused about that. Like you have to ask him to do
Thank you.
the little
Thank
girl's
You
you.
know
hair?
what? I'm gonna just leave this
Thank you.
convo. 'Cause I can't get my opinion at all. Y'all been talking all this time. I can't say nothing at all.
Wait a minute, who is that? Make it happen,
It's
Manny.
Manny. That's
It's
Manny.
mine.
Oh,
I've been raising my hand the last 20 minutes. Like, can I get a word in? I've been letting y'all do y'all
Oh,
thing.
sorry about that. Sorry about that.
yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead.
trying to rotate it. I apologize. Go ahead, Manny. Say your stuff.
Okay. When it comes to this convo, I agree. And again, I've been on a panel with Rule this exact same subject. And I agree with Rule 80%. The only thing that I disagree with Rule is how he slides in that whole, okay, but he can help and he has resources, so you shouldn't police what he does, you shouldn't be able to tell him what to do with his penis. That's where I cut him off. Other than that, I don't feel like nobody really cares if it's not jeopardizing our household, if it's not jeopardizing our livelihood, then I really don't care. I don't care if you give 20 boys shoes and 20 men meals. You have whole organizations that give people food monthly. You have whole
Thank you.
organizations. Hold on. You have whole organizations that give people clothing, food. Like, we're not gonna be disingenuous in our combo here, and that's why I kept trying to intervene in the combo, because we're acting like we don't have that. He's like, well, what if and what if? No, it is it. Like, we have that. We have folks that give to the homeless in our own cities. We have folks that give clothes to people that are severely impoverished. We have folks that give recreational like programs, even though it's very
So since
small,
we
and
do,
they don't have. And then and they don't have the backing to give as many, but we do have that. So I don't think nobody is up here saying, "Oh, well, we feel away if my cousin Moesha, or whatever name he said, or whoever, if she come over and I'm cooking, or his cousin Moesha, and I'm cooking gumbo, and his cousin Moesha come over, I
I'm
ain't
talking
gonna be
about
like,
Hakeem.
hold on, I ain't gonna be like, girl, you gotta get your food stuff. I don't think nobody's up here saying that. The only thing is when he slide in that whole, well, we already give to them, so you can't police if the man slides up. I feel like we're kind of getting off that. That's the only
Yeah, that's
part
that
that I
slick
have.
stuff that Rude be doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only
I
part
am
that
verbal. That's what I was thinking too.
oh
Rude
my
is
God.
No,
slick as hell. Cause see,
He's
this
slick
the
as
type
a
of person that Rude
motherfucker.
I feel
is.
like we're
Yes,
Let,
going
he
down a rabbit
is.
hole.
hold on, y'all.
Listen.
I'm gonna be
Let me tell
truthful.
you the type of person that Rude is real quick. Cause I'm gonna read Rude real quick. See, Rude the
Read me.
type of guy that'll come through to his best friend's house. It could be his homeboy, CK, for example. And I'm in the kitchen cooking, and Rude see the big fat round booty. He get all sprung or whatever. He want him a little something. So what he'll do is he'll come over like, yeah, can I get some of that cooking too? But really, that's cold for can I get some of that pussy?
I
That's
would,
really what Rude
Oh
wants.
my
Exactly.
God. Okay.
No,
Preach.
I wouldn't,
Okay.
Preach.
I
Okay.
wouldn't do
I've
that.
Wait.
been
Wait.
on
I
a
think you
panel
guys
with
see,
Rude like that.
Now.
we
I've
on two
been
different. We
on a
talking about
panel
two.
Hey,
with
Faith, can I
Rude
ask you a
like that.
question, Faith?
Hold up. We talking about two
Right,
different things
Faith.
at this
Can
point.
I
Now
ask you this?
that's me being a
From a
whole ass
person,
nigga.
I got
right?
caught up again.
All
I didn't
right,
even
all right, all right.
finish I couldn't
Manny,
even
were
finish
you
my
done,
statement.
Manny?
Yeah, I
Go
couldn't even
ahead and
finish my
make it
whole.
happen. Go ahead,
Oh,
finish your statement, make it happen.
Okay, so like I said, I've been on a panel with Rude on this exact same subject, and it's happening again. He'll throw a curveball in, and everybody go down a rabbit hole on something else. Oh no!
But I'm not even
Again,
talking about sex though.
but wait, hold on. Yes, you did, but I agree with 80%. I'm not saying just disagree with Rude or oh my God, he's so bad. I'm not saying that because I've had the same conversation with him months ago, and well, if he remember, then he know who, what creator who was on the same panel with. We had the same convo. But I'm like, Rude, I agree
Y'all
with
just need to
80%.
get a room.
I agree. Hold on. I just want to finish. I let it go. I let it off, and I go on mute. But I agree with 80%. Do have selfish people that might fit the contract that Rule is saying? Absolutely, you might have some folks that are like that, but that's not on a grand scale. You don't see nowhere or no articles. A woman didn't shot a man in the head because what I'm saying, we was cooking gumbo and the woman then gave Dusty Negro a plate. No. Nobody is arguing over that. Or some old work boots husband Warren done had and he done gave to Dusty cousin too. Who cares? Nobody cares about this. So I feel like it's disingenuous. But when he slides that whole, so I feel, if a man has resources and he's able to do it, in which who's the other guy, judge, whoever the hell,
And that's
he kind of, and I want to make this known before y'all go on y'all think I'm going on mute. He kind of overlooked that as well, but I'm not letting him slide on it as well. He kind of overlooked it as well. He's not, he kind of overlooked it as well because when Rule said if a man has resources and he's able to help out you, then you shouldn't feel selfish. So if he went somewhere else and gave his resources and, you can't police his ping, he made it very clear you can't police where this man ping go, but we kind of,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That. But no. That's a problem. Wait. And I want to say why. That's a problem because you know what's going on out here. Like not only with diseases, but as far as legacy, I'm gonna let you play with your legacy. A legacy you're supposed to be building with me. Not only diseases and everything else that can kill us out here, but I'm supposed to hold on. But let me finish, and you'll get it. Hold on. I'm supposed to play with.
Okay, start wrapping it up. Make it happen, Manny. Start wrapping it up.
I'm gonna wrap it up. But I'm supposed to play with the resources you have as far as the legacy you're building with me because you have resources. I'm supposed to play with that because you have resources. Absolutely not. And I feel like we're kind of going down a rabbit hole.
I'm not saying not saying that a man, he just got to go and cheat. I'm not saying he must cheat. What I'm saying is that if a man's taking care of you, I don't think a woman should try to control that man dick though if he's taking care of you. No different if any one of you women is taking care of a man. Do you think that man have the right to control what you do?
Hold on, Manny. Hold on. Let him go.
Do you think a man, if you was taking care of a man, any one of you women taking care of a man on the panel, do you think he really have control or have a say so on what you do if you were to have sex with somebody else? Like, do he have a say so in that? Because y'all building a legacy and he's your husband. Like, you taking care of him fully and you've been doing it since you've been fucking with the guy. Like, can he tell you what to do with your vagina? Honestly, that doesn't mean you're gonna go and fuck every nigga you see. But if you wanted to, can this nigga you taking care of tell you can't do it?
Would that be right though, Will? Like, come on now. You're talking about.
That's the question, though. Verb. I'm asking
this is completely.
Yes or no?
Well, honestly, here's the thing. Okay, can I answer the question?
Hold on. Let Ruth finish. Because let Ruth finish.
Well, he asked me the question. Yeah, he asked me the question. So I'm going to answer the question. Listen, if you're married to someone, you made vows to them. That's what it is. So regardless of what that setup looks like, you've made vows to this one person to be with this one person. You're in a monogamous relationship. If you don't want to be in a monogamous relationship, then don't be in one. Don't get married. Don't promise your body, your mind, your soul, your heart, or whatever belongs to this one person if you want to go out there and be with other people. It's really that simple.
It's not about you wanting to do it. What I'm saying is that if you in a relationship with this guy, you made vows, and you taking care of him, like, do you think he have the right to tell you that you can't do it? It doesn't mean that you're going to go and do it. I'm saying, do you think this nigga you got the right to tell you that you can't?
Yes. Unfortunately, yes, he does, because you made the vows.
Well, the majority
of men... Well, that's because men are hoes. The majority of men are hoes.
It ain't got to do with you being a hoe. It's the fact that men with resources don't feel like a woman should tell them to do it.
Thank you, I am verbal. Thank you.
I mean, let's just break this shit down chapter and verse. Like, why play with it?
All right.
Okay, so we hoes, huh? Okay, all right. I mean, that's what they say. But
And
one of the
Rue,
things I go
like,
ahead and
you
say
know,
on
the
this,
women
this
be
is what I
mad at you
learned.
because they know the women you deal with,
Well,
Rue,
can
they
I
be mad
finish?
at you because I just want to tell Rue this one thing and I'll be quiet, I
Oh
promise.
my
I'm sorry.
God.
Rue, the women, back to what you were saying earlier,
Hmm.
the women be mad at you because they know you want to be with other women too. That's, of course, they're going to be mad at you and feel a kind of way if you running around buying shoes for people's kids and stuff.
Okay,
They're
Well,
going to
now,
look at you
now you losing me.
sideways.
Now you losing me
okay,
on that with the shoes part. I can
now
understand
here,
the slang and dig though, but the shoes part. Are you telling me, Verbal? You and Faith are really telling me that if your man were to buy your friend or somebody, some little boy, some shoes, you have a problem with that shit for real?
Why is he
Can
going
I,
out
because
buying
one
shoes
actually went
without me
on good,
knowing?
If
actually.
can
He
I
can
speak?
just
but why you have no hold on.
thank
So I
you.
gave that analogy. So I gave that analogy. If CK or Judge Dre
Right.
had a homeboy who have a homeboy who
Listen,
have a
listen.
daughter, and you know how to do hold on, Dre, hold on, Dre. These guys have a homeboy who got a daughter who may need her hair done, and you do the girl's hair. Do you have to tell these men that you went and did this little girl hair? Like you went over and did the little girl hair?
Yeah, why am I going over
Nope.
to his
Can I?
homeboy house to do
Yes,
his daughter hair without
No.
my
yes.
being
Okay.
known?
Oh.
The little girl can come
No,
Can
over
I
I
your
speak?
house.
no.
Can I speak?
But shout out to
First,
No,
Make
you
It Happen,
can't.
Manny.
Wait, wait.
I just wanted to give her a shout out and thank her for coming up on the panel.
Oh my God.
All
Sis,
right.
she said she can't do the circular
Okay.
conversation. So Rouge, you don't really
Okay.
started something up in here, man.
can I
He
speak?
always know how to bring
Okay.
that fire,
Now,
girl. That's what he does.
now,
He does it
now,
very
Can I
well.
speak?
now,
Can I
now.
speak?
This is one of the things that I've
Firstly,
noticed. I've
what
been
grown
waiting, man.
people can
Okay,
I
Uh,
go
go
speak?
ahead.
go on ahead,
I've
Koja,
been
and
waiting.
then
What's next, actually?
I'm sorry, Judge Dre, and then Koja. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, let it go. Yeah, because I was next. Right. But one of the things I've noticed, and I think with you guys here, is this is the problem. You guys have, especially with, I've noticed the women on this panel. Yes, he gave the analogy and what the situation was. Just because you know from previous conversations that you think he might have mean that, but it don't mean shit because it wasn't said during this conversation. And unfortunately, when you guys go, well, he's this type of guy that does this, I hate to say, it makes a bad listening thing for your audience. This is the reason why when you have these conversations on these panels like this, you got to treat each panel as if it's new. Like you, even though this person got a track record for calling, say, women bitches, he didn't call them a bitch today, so you can't bring that shit. And that's the problem that we always go. We might know that Rue might like to stick his dick in every woman, but he didn't talk about sticking his dick in every woman in the neighborhood today. He said that this child always comes over to the house. So you know the child, he know the child. And then, oh yeah, man, I remember the other day when I was out, boy's brother man needs some shoes. I'm just going to pick him up a pair. Because I know his mom is hurting for money, this, that, and the other. I mean, no offense. You sitting up here, we already know, everybody knows LeBron James. If it wasn't for people in the neighborhood buying him shoes and stuff like that, keeping him tracked, we wouldn't even have him. Because everybody knows his mother was a drug addict and she didn't buy him shit.
Yeah.
Everybody in the neighborhood bought him shit. Now, I did consider that his mother was a whore and a drug addict. If all those other men wasn't out there buying LeBron James shoes, we wouldn't have the LeBron James school and all the other shit now. So think about the shit those men probably put up with. I bet you letting Gloria suck your dick too. You know what I'm talking about? This
Can
is the problem.
somebody else?
Unfortunately, look. And now, what are you talking about? Where is it all go on? The problem is you guys sit up here and think that everything is about pussy. Sometimes you realize men function different than you women. We actually get endorphins released in our brain when we do something nice for someone else.
Yeah,
Thank you,
right.
Dre.
Can I speak now? Can I speak?
Listen. I'm
Bullshit.
gonna tell you. That's the
Bullshit.
reason why. No, listen.
Can I?
Bullshit.
It
That's
was
the
actually
reason
my turn to
why.
speak next,
10
and
seconds.
you're
10
really.
seconds. 10
That's
seconds.
fine. You're next.
Listen.
Go ahead, Judge
That's the
Dre. Go ahead.
reason why. That's the
Start
reason
wrapping it up.
why we give more. Well, God, I'm about 10 seconds. That's the reason why we give our money to you. Done.
Thank you, Dre.
Thank you for your commentary. Kosha.
See,
It's my turn to
see what
speak.
I'm talking about?
All right,
I was making
Koja.
those
Yes,
smart-ass
it is.
comments, you know. I get it.
It is Koja's turn to speak.
First
And
of
then
all,
after that, we're gonna let Rude respond.
First of all, whatever grown people agree to in their relationship is their business. I'm not never going to come over here and bash anybody else or what they do. If people agree to do polygamy or whatever, that's their choice. Just like I'm not going to bash them and say it's not my choice. But there's some coded language in here. As far as buying things for people, as a woman, I have male friends, and it would be disrespectful to my husband to go out and say, this male friend's child is doing this, and I'm friends with the man, not the woman, and decide to spend money. There's mutual respect. Whatever the dynamics is and what people agree to in their relationship and how they move is how they move. I can only talk about me. And it's a lot of women that aren't comfortable with that. To be respectful of my husband, I'm going to go by the same rules that I have for myself. And he's not going to go and spend money on somebody else or whatever, because that's a pocketbook decision that's for the family, that those decisions should be made within the family. And if it's your friend, it's my friend. So that should be all of our friends. And a lot of these situations, that's not it. And as far as bitches and this and that, y'all men up here, y'all try, when women are talking, y'all try to over talk and bully and don't allow other women to get in and talk, and then you being disrespectful. We can all go there and have the disrespectful language, but please don't bring it, because we're really trying to exercise restraint and be respectful. But all the fuck yous and I ain't gonna respect you and this and that is not necessary.
Who was disrespectful?
That's all I had to say.
Who was disrespectful? I didn't say no cuss words.
Hey, Ruth, you want to respond?
No, y'all go ahead. Y'all keep it moving, man. I'm chilling.
Wow.
I am Verbal's back, so I am Verbal.
Come on now.
Well, what I really wanted to do, because I think we beat that dead horse for a while now, because see, Rude, I know what Rude is on. Rude is not slick. I think me and Verbal. Because like I said, Rude to be over there at my house eating my food and trying to get some pussy. Then he'll come over to my cousin's house eating her food and trying to get some pussy.
Yeah.
He'll be at I Am Verbal house eating her food and trying to get some pussy, and
All of
it's
that.
rotation.
That's
And then what happened is, what happened is, if he go to China White House, he might eat her food, but she may not give him no pussy. So then what he gonna try to do?
Got me fucked up.
What he gonna try to do is he gonna buy her son some shoes. And see, the same way to a man's heart is through his stomach, the way to a woman's heart is through his wallet. So he gonna use his wallet to get some pussy. That's what he's gonna do.
I need you ladies to acknowledge Judge Dre's point. This conversation was not about me. This was not about me getting no pussy on this one. It was not. It was simply me helping a friend of a woman who I'm dealing with and her children, if that's the case, right? That's all. It wasn't about me trying to
nobody though. You are only fooling Judge Dre, not any of the rest of us, baby.
It's the context. Listen. Verbal. Listen. Me and you, hold on, Verbal. Hold on, but even though I can be that, right? But if me and Verbal was hanging out and we was doing something totally different from anything sexual, then we won't have to have sex that day. We won't have to have sex. We just good. Like we didn't have to have sex today. We did something totally different. So I want people to keep it in perspective that I was not talking about having no sex with nobody. I was simply saying, if my wife or my girlfriend's friends and family members need some help, if I got it, I should be able to help them women without the woman I'm with trying to tell me I shouldn't do it or I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Right. You can help them, but I just need to know about it.
Basically, they're going off your track record.
You can know Verbal about the women, but if it's the children,
why do you
care
help so much? That would be my question. Why do you care so much?
Now, it's not about me caring. We're talking about if you, like what CK said, right? If it's an issue or it's a problem with your friends, the only way, I think Dre said that.
But why you care about my friends so much?
But listen, hold up. Listen what I'm saying.
And why you got to be the one to help?
Listen what I'm saying. If I'm the one with the resource and me and you fuck around like that, what I think CK or Dre, one of them said that the only way we even know about your friend's problem or plight is because you brought it to us. I'm saying if it's a situation where we see the obvious, right, that your friend, your family member, your sister, your mother could be going through a struggle, and I know about it. Well, goddamn, why would I not care about this shit if I fuck with you? Like, why would I not care about what your mother could be going through? But I say I love you and I fuck with you.
Okay, well that's my mother and my sister, but my friend.
What?
Now you're going outside the family.
How's it going outside the family if these women, you've been knowing these women 20, 30 years, and these women always like Pam and Gina, right, from Martin.
It ain't like they come here to see me. They come and talk to you.
Like a Pam and hold on 1 second, Dre. Like a Pam and Gina from Martin scenario to where there's like a big family. So why if Pam was struggling and Martin had the money, why wouldn't Martin help Pam? Why would he not help? I'm confused about that part. Like, what you mean?
Listen, I would never go to my friend's husband. I don't care if he was a multimillionaire. I would never go to my friend's husband and ask him for anything. I would no, but what I'm saying is I would go to my friend, and so my friend would come to me, and then I would ask my husband.
Verb. Are you guys purposely leaving out the fact that the woman, the wife is going to be the main factor in the helping? Are you guys trying to make it seem like what I'm saying?
No, but it just didn't sound like that's what you were saying.
No. Listen, me and Faith already cleared it up. I thought you heard me and Faith cleared up about the part where if your friend needed help, if her friend needed help, that Faith would be the one to go to her husband, not the friend. I thought you guys heard that. Right. That's what the Koja Malik was. She got it misconstrued that there's no sneaking around your wife to go to your friend. It's simply the wife would tell the husband, like, look, this is what Pam is going through. This, man. Pam is about to get kicked out. Hey, man, we need to help Pam because she get kicked out.
I did agree with you on that, Ruth, but. Okay, you kind of went around it though because a lot of times this is what guys will do. They'll use the children to get to the woman. I know this game. I mentioned the kid. I grew up around this. I know all the games.
No,
some of these guys will use kids to get to the women.
Wait, Faith, listen to me, boy. That's why I gave. Hold on, Dre. Hold on, Dre. That's the reason why I gave the example of Hakeem from Moesha, how he used to always come over to Frank and Dee's house, and I gave Steve Urkel on Family Matters when he come to Carl and Harriet's house all the time. I'm talking about a kid like that you may have to have. This might be the son of the friend of your actual wife, right? But he always come over to the house to where you can just look out for this little boy because he's a part of your family, like your kids. It's like this is not a strange little boy. This is a boy who you are very much familiar of. Right. And you see this little boy might need some shoes because school's about to start. And you, as a man, you just bought a little boy some shoes before school started. Like, this ain't trying to get to the mama. Like, you know the mama. Like, everything is. I think you guys are purposely trying to make it seem like it's some type of ulterior motive for why I would help somebody. That's not how it get. I don't get down like that when it comes down to if I can do something for people. I'm not trying to. Yeah, let me look out for the little boy. I'm gonna fuck his mama next week type shit. No, that's not the case. We talking about when there's a need, how I can just step up as a man and take care of this actual need for whoever.
I got you. I understand what you were saying. I think that this is the problem with girlfriends. She must, I ain't gonna lie, the way you keep going back to the cheating, even though we done gave the scenario and all like that, say something, baby, I hope you're not like that in your relationship. Because you must have been cheated on before, because that's all you keep going back to, and we keep saying it's not about that. I mean,
okay, but it's just the way that it sounds and it came up. Judge Dre, are you in the manosphere? Are you in the manosphere, Judge Dre? Judge Dre, are you in the manosphere? Yeah, are you manosphere?
Yeah, I guess you can say I'm in the manosphere because when I used to run shows, I haven't done shows recently, but no, when I.
Okay. I know it makes sense.
No, but listen. No, whatever. You can believe whatever you want to believe, but it's like this. I understand. Basically, like this is I can take the conversation of what is said at hand, not on what we going on what was said today, not what was said yesterday. We gave a scenario today. Just because we want to add things to the scenario that makes our point seem valid, that's not what was said today. The scenario was given. We can't add our other stuff to it because basically you change the conversation and the dynamics of it. That's the reason why I said he gave the scenario. Hey, it's a kid that you all both know always comes to the house. And he just happened to be in the store. You know what? I'm going to buy the kid some shoes because I noticed that nigga needs some shoes. Well, no, you should have come to me. I mean, Really, most of the time you ain't even gonna think nothing of it. You gonna think,
Well,
well,
hold on, hold on. Let me do something real quick, Judge Dre, because see, it's me and Verbal on here. Coach Malik fell off. I would have liked to have gotten the answer from her. But
Hell no.
how many women, and the women in the audience can answer this question too? How many of you have had a man just do something for you out the kindness of his heart, and he didn't want nothing in return? How many times has that happened in your lifetime?
I think it depends.
Good
I'm not a woman, but it depends on.
No, I'm asking the
No,
women.
she's asking the women.
Right.
So for me, to be really honest with you, I've only had one man my whole life who was strictly platonic, who was just a really, really good friend, so close to me that we just started calling each other cousin, and he would do things for me and didn't want anything sexual in return. We were just like that. But that's just one man. Other than that, no.
Ask you a question
the men,
on that
that's it.
Did
Just
you do
one,
stuff
just
for him?
one man.
Okay, so I am Verbal said just one man. Coach Malik, welcome back to the stream. The question is for the women. How many men have you known in your lifetime that has helped you and didn't want anything in return? Oh, she gone again. Damn. Well, I'm gonna answer the question myself.
Okay. Hey, Faith, I got a question for you.
Oh, hold on. Let
I
me
got a
answer
question
the
for
question.
her, the first lady.
Hold
Okay.
on. Let me answer the question because we're on the women now.
Mhm.
Okay, I've only known a handful of men that were strictly platonic, that was genuinely interested in helping me because they saw I needed help. Other than that, most of the time they were vultures.
Okay.
They
And that's the
wanted
point
something in return.
It
Okay.
depends
You
on
ever
the
help them?
rapport that you have with a guy. Like, understand what I'm saying, Faye. We talking about a guy who's been knowing you for years. You guys are simply not on a sexual level. Y'all don't even fuck around like that. We talking about a guy like that,
Right.
like say for instance, right? A man have a wife and his wife's friends and shit who he been knowing years. It may not be nothing sexual in that situation.
Right.
It just simply look, man, take it back to, like I say, old school, like I say, just old school values. I've been knowing you, been knowing your friends 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. If I were to pay a rent or pay a bill for your friends, it's not because I want to fuck your friends, because they needed their rent paid. We're not talking about a woman who you try to holler at or you try to get at, and y'all don't have no type of connection other than it could be flirtation, it could be sexual, and yet if a nigga do something for you, he wants some pussy in return. We're not talking about them kind of guys who you don't have no type of a bond with like that. We're talking about the men who you
But
consider to be like a family.
that's what I'm saying. I'm also considering men that I knew in my family. I've had uncles come on to me. Okay, I couldn't even get a ride to the Greyhound station from a family member without them wanting something.
Do you think that all men want, that all we think about is pussy? I'm just asking you, Faith. Is that what you guys think?
Listen, I think listen, the thing is that when men talk to us, they want us to believe what they say about their experiences. But when women tell you what our experiences are as women, being women, dealing with men, you try to gaslight us out of our own experiences. These are the experiences, and all the women in the chat are saying none. Koja just put up there none. I said just one, and Faith is telling you we don't have a reason to lie to you about our experiences with men.
Listen,
This is
I
what
didn't
it
say you were
is.
lying. I
No
didn't
one
say
said
you
you
were lying. I
lied.
just asked a question. See what I'm
No
talking
one
about? You
said.
read more into. I asked a
You don't
question
have
for more
to,
information.
but you don't have to say the words. Oh, you're lying.
don't-
You don't have to say the words. It can
my
just
God.
be
See what I'm
in
talking about?
how you.
But
It can be how you
Verbal.
frame. It can be how you frame the comment, and it just feels like
Listen.
it just feels like a lot of gaslighting that's going on. Faith,
Faith,
what do you think about what I'm saying, Faith?
But the way the
I
question was
agree.
asked
I
wasn't
agree with
genuine.
exactly what you're saying.
Let me show you what I mean.
It's always a negating of what we say.
The way Faith asked the question wasn't 100% genuine.
Oh,
hold on one second.
To get more information.
Oh, hold on one second, Dre. Let me get it real fast, right? The way Faith asked the question, she didn't put it in the context like,
go ahead.
hold on, listen, hold on one time. She didn't put it in the context of of a man who don't even look at you like that, but he will just break bread with you, compared to guys who want to fuck you anyway,
Right.
and he do something for you.
Right.
I got a bunch of homegirls who I don't even want to fuck with like that, who I would break bread with because we are homeboys, homegirls, and we good like that. It's nothing sexual like that between us. You now talking about the men with verbal and faith. You talking about the men who've been wanting to fuck the shit out you. And now if he were to do something nice for
Of
you,
course they want to.
he wants some pussy in return. We talking about just a man who respects you enough,
Your
don't
friend.
even come at you like that. He pretty much just, he just good with you. Like, y'all just some good, y'all on some living single type shit. Like on some living single type shit with Overton and Kyle motherfucking ass. Like, it's just niggas like that.
Okay.
Hang on Mr. Cooper and
Okay,
shit.
but real,
He's just a guy who would look
Okay,
out
but-
for you.
Hold up, Dre.
Yeah.
Dre been trying to go for the longest. Go ahead, Judge Dre.
I just find it funny, man. It's just, I mean, like, this is the thing. I asked a question. Now, see, you're getting at that. See what I mean? You just read more into. I asked a question for more information so you can further elaborate. When I asked a question, I didn't give you notice. I ain't never told you was wrong. Your feelings were, because you got the right to feel and have your own opinion. See, that's one of the things I don't do. But just somebody asking you a question was looked at, and both of you women took it with a form of disrespect. Because
No,
asked
I
the
didn't say
question
it was
for more information.
disrespectful.
I
I'm
never-
just
look,
saying
see what- but wait,
this is what-
wait. I'm not done.
I can't do
And
this.
when
I
you-
can't do this with this
I've been
person right
talking
here.
for
I can't.
10 seconds. See what I'm talking about? Nobody's been disrespectful to this woman. I said, I've been talking for 10 seconds. But basically, all I said, it was a question to get more information. But go ahead and have the floor, because I don't want you to feel like somebody's treating you any worse. Go ahead.
You're condescending for no reason. So there's men and women on the panel,
Okay.
and we're all having the conversation. So you don't have to get too emotional about it or anything like that. It's just that being a woman, and since you are not one and have no clue what it feels like to be, are you one? Because you're saying wow as if what I said was wrong. You're not a woman,
No,
right?
I said, wow, because you said I was condescending. Not because
You are being
not a woman. I
condescending.
never think about it.
You're being condescending. So what
Okay,
Faith
man.
was, the point that Faith was making, and
think
I
you're
understand
taking a
what
fight where
rude.
there's no fights.
Can I finish?
Let
Can
her
I
Slow down,
finish.
finish?
Let
Judge.
her
Slow down,
finish.
Judge.
Good God damn. So I think what Rue is saying when he's talking about, that's not what Faith is saying. Rue is talking about men who don't want to. The point of the matter is that we don't come across those types of men on any type of regular basis who don't want sex from us. We don't come across that. That is not a regular thing for us.
I never
The
said
majority
this.
of men that we come across want something sexual from us. That is a fact. That is our reality as women. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, right. I agree with verbal on that part, right? I'm talking about initially that may be the case. We talking about when you get a chance to know the guy. Like, he's just somebody who's been around. You've been knowing this guy for 5+ years, and y'all just never went there. And he happened to do something nice for you. He might not want no sex because y'all done already went past that phase of liking each other, or he wanted you at one point, but he realized it wasn't good. It wasn't the best thing to do to fuck with you like that. So therefore, he just became your friend, your homie.
It wasn't in the
I'm talking about these guys. We're not talking about the guys you guys are meeting for the very first time, and guy he just wants your ass, or he just want to fuck the shit out of you. And yet, if he do something good for you, he expect for you to come on and get on your knees or some shit. No, we ain't talking about that. So if you basing that right on when it comes down to guy being generous, you basing on the guys who just met you. Like, if somebody meet Faith right now, and they think she look good, and he come at her in a way of like a sexual way, then yes, that's one thing. But what about the guys she been knowing 10 years come at her like that? No, it's not the same.
Hold up, Faith, you got anything?
Right.
Faith,
And
you
I'm
got
like
anything?
this. If you don't know the guy,
Hold up.
That
Faith,
means
you
he
got
always liked
anything?
you.
Okay. What I wanted to
Faith, you
say.
got anything?
Yeah. What I wanted to say. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, what I wanted to say is this. We, black women, we don't, not just black women, women in general, we don't really run across, like I Am Verbal was saying, men that just want to do things for us out of the kindness of our heart. It would be nice if we did run across men like that on a regular basis. But most of the time, like, I'll give you a good example. I have a friend, this guy, was somebody that I went to high school with. Okay, never thought about him sexually or nothing. Okay, so I know what Rude is talking about. But even with him being my friend and us establishing a friendship, as soon as my husband passed away, he thought it was game on. And so he would come around doing stuff for, me and the kids, and I thought it was out the kindness of his heart. But come to find out, he was really trying to, see if he can wiggle his way in. So, I haven't really experienced too much where a guy is doing something and it's platonic and out of the kind of his heart, and he doesn't want anything sexual in return. I just haven't experienced that.
Okay. I mean,
Hey, Rude,
it
you
can
got
happen.
anything?
Exactly.
No, y'all
I
go
mean,
ahead. Y'all
Like
got
I said, we never said you were wrong. It can happen. I mean, like I said, the reason why I asked the question, it's the problem. It was no evil intent. Even though, think about it, you guys have made several comments to me and done threw me under the bus a couple times. I still not said one disrespectful thing to you guys. So if anybody's got the condescending behavior, unfortunately, today on this panel, that would be the winner. Because now the men will go ahead and say, you've made 2 or 3 remarks to me that if I would have weak or within my feelings, I could easily snap back at you. And see, that's all I base it like this. This is the problem why the conversation don't go nowhere, because somebody asking you a question seems like an attack. And
I am
the
verbal.
only
You got
reason why it
anything?
never escalated to anything else is because
Yes.
the only thing, right. The only reason why it didn't escalate to something else is because I didn't respond after the attack.
Well, no one actually attacked you though, and but you do have a certain.
Hold on, Faith. I think Faith wanted to say something.
Me and
okay, go ahead, Faith.
Hold up, Judge Dre. Hold up,
Judge Dre.
Go ahead, Faith.
What I want to do is I kind of want to move the conversation. I want to move the conversation away from this because it's kind of circular. We're not going anywhere with it. But the main conversation was about Valentine's Day, guys, and I do think that we did veer off the conversation, even though that was some fire that Rude introduced to the conversation.
Yeah.
But I do want to ask. I do want to ask. I am verbal though. There was a conversation on Grandmaster Troll's channel where he had played some audio from China White's channel. I heard some of it, and some of the women were talking about they didn't care about Valentine's Day, and you said down in the chat that you didn't care about Valentine's Day, and I just wanted you to elaborate on that from a woman's perspective that doesn't really care.
Yeah, I was actually on that panel. That panel was last night with China White. She and me and Shui Celeste were her guests that she wanted us to have this conversation. And then Valentine's Day came up because Grandmaster Troll got on the panel and he asked what, who's taking us out or what we're doing or what have you. And then I said that I don't care about Valentine's Day. It's just it's very commercial and kind of silly to me, and it feels forced. It's just something that feels forced to me. And it's always been a quote unquote holiday that to me is just a fake holiday. That's just for consumerism. It's just another thing that they can slip in there because the holidays are so far away from February, the major holidays, for people to go out and feel compelled to spend money. And so I've always just kind of felt uncomfortable with it. I think it's kind of mushy and just kind of fake. And that's just how I feel about it. But China was saying that men, you're a simp if you do Valentine's Day for women and stuff like that. I don't think that. I don't have a problem with anybody else celebrating it or whatever. It's just never been a big deal for me.
Okay, but now I was looking at your comments down in the comment section, but you said that you do celebrate other holidays.
Yeah, I do. I do celebrate other holidays.
So if you think the other holidays are not commercial and pagan and all this other type of stuff, why would you just single out Valentine's Day? Is there something else that's going on? Because all of the holidays are basically set up for you to spend money and be commercialized.
That's a fact.
Yep.
But I think that no, that's a fact. They all are. All of them are. I just really enjoy those holidays. I just don't have a connection or this I don't have this connection to Valentine's Day. It's just not something I care about. And I don't know why that's a problem for people, but it's just not for me. I just don't care about it like that. I just don't. But I enjoy Thanksgiving because it's my whole family and I can cook this big meal. I enjoy Christmas because my children love it. And I like to, go all out for it and decorate and all of this stuff. Those are just the holidays that I like. I also don't celebrate Easter. I don't like that holiday. Like, really, Thanksgiving and Christmas are the only holidays I actually celebrate. I don't celebrate anything else, like Halloween, none of that stuff. When my daughter was younger, because she liked to trick or treat, then I do that for her. But other than that, I don't care about any of the rest of them.
What about Mother's Day?
Yeah, I mean, Mother's Day is okay, but I don't. I mean, it's fine, but that's for other people to do stuff for me, and if they do, great. But I really like to be left alone. I want to be able to just do whatever I want to do on Mother's Day because it is Mother's Day, and I don't think that means that I have to do things for my children. So that's like a day just for me. That's how I view Mother's Day.
The thing that stood out to me, Verbal, when you said it made you feel uncomfortable, and here's the thing. Now, your significant other, when you're in a relationship, I don't know if you're in a relationship now or not, but if your significant other, say Rude is your man. Rude is so happy about that. But anyway, say Rude is your man. And he decides that he wants to, set up a reservation for you at a nice 5-star restaurant. He wants to spread out the rose petals and, make that lavender bath for you, give you a massage, just really roll out the red carpet. Why would that make you feel uncomfortable?
Right.
Yeah, that too.
And China White comes along. Right.
Well, I'm just saying, say for instance, hold on now. Say for instance, not typical Rude, but Rude, the monogamous Rude. Okay.
Oh, okay, the monogamous version of Rude. Okay.
Right. So if he did all of that, why would that make you feel uncomfortable?
I don't know. I don't know. I think that, I don't know. I really don't. It just I'm not a very mushy person. So I think that, the things that you do in your relationship that are all throughout the year, and how, my partner will show me he cares about me and he loves me, buying me little things, cooking for me, taking me out. Oh, okay. Taking me out and stuff. Those things seem genuine to me.
Park my truck in those.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Those things
might be
feel
a delay sometimes.
Oh, okay. Those things feel genuine to me because it's not for like a reason, but I don't know. I don't want anyone to feel obligated because it's this day, so I have to do all of this. Now, if my man wants to do all of it, and of course I've celebrated it before, and nice things have been done for me, and it's fine. I go along with it, but I never have. It's not anything that has to be made a big deal of. That's just how I am. You know what I mean? That's just how I am. And it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel, Valentine's Day just doesn't feel genuine to me. That's just how I feel about it. I'm not sure how to explain it. It's just how I feel about it.
If you were getting a monogamous Rude, that should make you feel special.
But if I have a monogamous Rude, I have a monogamous Rude. I have a monogamous Rude all throughout the entire year. So
just for that day.
Monogamous Rude would be making me feel special all throughout the year.
Just for that one day. I'm monogamous for that one day. Fuck it.
Right now. You're monogamous for that one day. So Rude, you're forsaking all others for that one day.
Yeah,
so you're forsaking all others for that one day, and I'm the chick you pick for Valentine's Day.
Let's say that one
Well, I don't
weekend.
know
One
however
weekend.
you want to put it, but that's
That one
evidently
weekend. Okay.
One weekend. One
Okay,
weekend.
Think about it.
well, hey, that might be different. That might be different if he's being a
Right.
hoe 364 days of the year. And then that one day,
Right.
then
Okay,
I
well,
might feel I might be
maybe
feeling myself.
Rude was a bad
Right.
example. Okay, hold on.
Right. A monogamous
What
Rude.
about CK? Let's just use. Okay, what if we got CK, monogamous CK. He's taking you to Michelin 3-star restaurants. Okay, he's sprinkling the rose petals. He's
Say
buying
5-star
you
restaurant.
the Birkin bag. You know, he's really just rolling out that
Okay.
red carpet for you. Why would that make you feel uncomfortable?
So Faith, you sharing your man now, Faith?
Yeah, she's trying to take a lesson, Rude. She's like, maybe I will share commendable
Verbal
K.
man. You let Verbal borrow your man for
wow.
Valentine's Day, Faith?
You know
Wow.
what,
But
Rude?
yeah, I thought
You
she
are
didn't want
you
you
are
doing
you
shit
are
for the
messy.
community. I mean, think about
Has
it.
anybody ever told you how messy you are?
Yeah, they tell me that all the time. when I
We
go live.
always tell him.
Remember?
Every time he goes live, everybody tells him in his chat that he is messy as AF. Okay.
But am I
Yes.
lying though? Am I lying though, Faith? You letting Verbal borrow your man for the day?
Okay, well, first of all, I know who Commendable K's actual woman is, and that's disrespectful to her. She's a very nice person.
Show
So
on YouTube.
no,
Show on
that is
YouTube.
that's not my man. Okay.
Show on YouTube. Hold on, Faith. Is she on YouTube?
Now wait a minute.
Hold on, Faith. Is she on YouTube, Faith?
No, she's not on
Not for
YouTube.
All right then. So look. You remember. Oh, talking about you remember on the movie.
All right then.
You remember? Hold on 1 second. Y'all remember on the movie Ray Charles with Jamie Foxx, right? Y'all remember that movie?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Faith. You remember that movie, Faith?
Yeah, I remember the movie.
All right. You remember when Regina King, right, the woman who was singing, like she was singing in a little backup singing group with Ray Charles. And you remember what she told Ray Charles?
No, I don't remember what she told him.
She said when Ray Charles talked about his actual wife, who's not a singer, right? Mm-hmm. Regina King came in and said, "Well, on the road, I'm Mrs. Ray Charles." And what Ray Charles said was, "That's on the road." So on YouTube, goddammit, you are Mrs. CK, goddammit. So what's up?
I can't stand Rude.
Let him deal with his wife
Buffoonery is
outside
at
of
an
YouTube.
all-time high. The buffoonery is at an all-time high in the words of OP.
I can't stand him.
Wow.
I mean, think about it.
On YouTube, Faith is CK's woman. I'm putting it out there.
Well, I ain't gonna.
What the fuck?
I ain't gonna lie.
Nah, I mean,
Okay, and I'm also D Darrell's ride or die. Let's see.
Facts.
I think last year people were saying me and O'Shea had a thing going. You all need to quit.
You a player. You just a player. You's a goddamn player. You showing everybody how to do it. You showing Verbal how it's supposed to be done.
She's showing me all right.
How you do that there? How you do that
How
there?
you do that there?
Right, that's what I said.
I think. See what it is. I think a lot of you women. A lot of you women make yourself miserable when y'all want to play this monogamy shit. When y'all really want to have a bunch of niggas to yourself too. You know, you want 3 or 4 different guys that you can go to when you want to go to them. So why y'all playing games?
And there
like,
it
you make
is.
it seem like as if it's the men. Hold on, y'all trying to make it seem like it's the men that we were wrong for wanting to have multiple women when y'all want multiple men too. You just too afraid to say it out loud. Say it out loud now. Faith is showing that she got 3, 4. What's up?
Oh my God.
What's up?
Wow. You know what? You need to stop being messy and stop spreading rumors and stuff like that. First of all, I am not D Darrell's ride or die. I am not O'Shea's woman, side chick, wife, or whatever you guys were saying. I am not CK's woman. You
Joe Whitfield. You Joe Whitfield's. Hold on. You Joe Whitfield's side chick though.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, you all need to stop being messy and spreading rumors.
How about you stop playing the field? How about you stop playing the field then,
huh? Y'all talking about Faith like she's being passed around.
No, CK, she passing niggas around. That's what she doing. She passing niggas around. What the fuck is she doing? She's not being passed around.
Hot potato. You know, the potatoes being passed around. It ain't the potato go from hand to hand.
But honestly, But Faith, let's be clear, and everybody on the panel, let's be clear. I get a Valentine's gift every year. Every year. And I will get another one. But I'm just not tripping off of it like that. I'm just not. But this is someone who gives me stuff, does things for me all throughout the year. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
look at you.
not a big deal. I'm not ungrateful at all. I just, okay, well then I'm ungrateful. Okay, that's fine.
You should love him long time.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I'm about to hop on. I'm about to stop by it. I'm about to run to the grocery store while it's empty and shit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna holler.
You gonna get some Oreo cookies? You gonna get some Oreos?
Bullshit.
That's Oreos, all that.
Bullshit. He going down the street to buy some shoes. He going down the street to buy some shoes for the kid down the street.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the bed.
Making someone about to make somebody cooking. About to make somebody mad. Some woman mad again. See, he likes doing that.
Think about it, Rue. You must be such a whore that even when the conversation don't say that you fucking, they believe you are. That's how you know it must be bad, man.
That's why I said you need to listen to his channel. You need to listen. We cannot have one. He cannot have one stream to where sex and vagina does not come up. It just doesn't happen. It's just what he does.
Look. No. I'm just gonna let you know like this. He's actually a man that's actually okay with himself. Because I'm not even gonna realize the average man, they said, thinks of sex about 30 times a day. Average. It's like I might even be higher than that. But so I mean that's just normal. I'm not even gonna lie. I do too. I mean you have to learn.
Yeah.
You know that's why I
But
got.
you just tried to question Faith about it. You was like, so Faith, you think that all we do is think about sex, and here you are telling us that you think about it too many times a day. Like, yeah, you're just now saying that, but at first you was like, come on, Faith, you think all we do is think about sex?
Listen. Now listen, I'm gonna go and answer that. Right. Now we might think about it, but they actually say something and act on it is different. See, back when you were younger, you might have done it too many times. As you get older, you realize that unfortunately that has consequences. But of course, you still think about sex because no offense, if it wasn't for sex, men wouldn't get up and go to work. Like the lights that you got on right now in your house, the house that you living in, and all like that. If it wasn't for sex, that house wouldn't have been built. The lights wouldn't be on. The water wouldn't be on. There wouldn't be no infrastructure because people built the infrastructure so they can get money for sex.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. Men build for access to women. Men do everything men do is for women, whether they know it or not.
Well, I told her, I try to say this analogy all the time. I said, plain and simple. Say if y'all women really wanted to say, we ain't gonna never have sex with no men who wear jeans, right? You wear jeans, they ain't never having sex with you. Immediately, Levi's will go out of business tomorrow. Because they're like, well, fuck, we got to close that. Why that? Because niggas ain't going to buy no more jeans. It's over with.
I absolutely agree. Now you're talking sense.
It's the truth.
All right, so we're hitting on 3 hours. We're hitting on 3 hours, guys, and we're going to have to start wrapping it up.
Mm-hmm. But I mean,
all right, hello?
I can admit the things that I know that we do. But you guys, it seems like
all right, we're doing closing thoughts. Closing thoughts. Final thoughts. Starting with Judge Dre and go.
2 minutes.
Well, God, no, you could have said something before you muted me. All you had to do was say, but I'm done. Don't even worry about it. I ain't even going to finish.
This man is funny.
Wow. Really, Judge Dre?
He's doing too much.
You could be a little bit more respectful. You could be a little bit more respectful. That's
well,
all.
I was trying to say, hey, closing thoughts, and I guess you couldn't hear me, so.
I could hear you. I think it's a delay. Sometimes you got to realize it might take 3 seconds for the other person to hear you, because it's a delay sometimes. Like
okay, well, do you want to?
Like 5 seconds to respond.
Do you want to leave us with some final thoughts, Judge Dre?
I ain't mad. I'm not upset. It's cool. Yeah, just think
Can
about
he?
sex
Can he?
every
Can he hear?
32 times a day. That's all.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for those final thoughts, Judge Dre, and thank you for joining the panel. And please do come again. All right. Next, Koja. Any final thoughts?
Mutual respect is a beautiful thing, and nobody's trying to impose nobody on nobody else's lifestyle, and they should be mutually respectful and not tell people what they want to do. If we accept what you want to do, give that same respect and that same energy. And
All
there's
right.
nothing wrong with doing something nice for somebody, whether it's Valentine's Day or not, just because you want to see a glow on that person's face.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Coach Malik, for joining us on the panel, and please do come again. And last but not least, I am Verbal. Sister, any final thoughts for us?
Well, yes, just this was a great panel. It was a lot of fun. It is 4 o'clock where I am. I did not expect to be up, but y'all are just so entertaining. I couldn't help myself. I want to wish you, both of you, and everybody in the chat a wonderful Valentine's. And Faith, I heard you say earlier that you're getting ready. So I hope it's everything that you imagine it to be, and you have a great, wonderful, lovely, loving time with your man. And you too, CK. And thank you for allowing me to grace your panel.
All right. Well, the pleasure was all ours, and please do come back again, sis.
Of course. Good night, y'all.
Good
Or
night.
good morning.
Right.
Yeah, morning. All right. So, CK, just you and me.
Yeah, this was a marathon, it felt like.
Yeah, apparently we're in a relationship. I apparently juggle so many guys around YouTube. I don't know. I could teach a class on of man juggling. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, when it boils down to it, when people try to crash a panel and change the subject, that's really what they're about, unfortunately. And it's just, not trying to start any beef, no disrespect to Rube, but I've noticed that in any panel that he's on, it always boils down to not wanting someone's genitals controlled, and having a conversation about boundaries and trying to inch it towards doing things without the significant other's knowledge. And Faith, I do think you were right about your analogy, about the analogy of Rude. This is how you broke it down, because basically when it boils down to it, it's just inching towards playing the what if game just to form an excuse in case someone gets caught messing around. So we don't know who listens to these streams, because somebody may get on a panel, present a what if argument, and then send the link to someone else and be like, see, people agreed with me. So when you caught me, that situation when there was smoke, there was fire, other people agreed that I wasn't messing around. So, I wasn't cheating on you. So as I got to say about the whole rabbit hole thing, and me personally, I know there was a kind of like dialogue about, well, what if someone's child needs shoes or needs this, or what if someone needs that? That's the reason why I'm all about individualism, and I'm not going to live for another man or woman, or ask another man or woman live for me. When it boils down to it, if someone's in need, the team should make a decision whether they're going to give or not, or do anything or not. It shouldn't be well, I'm just going to just go off and buy these shoes. Should be no big deal. You do it as a team because it's household funds. If one person is doing something with household funds without telling the other person, sooner or later, that might be a disaster, unless you've already talked about it, which is why it's good to have communication and to be compatible and to have a really strong bond, so that if you do want to do something without your partner's knowledge, you already know beforehand that they're okay with it. And that's the reason why things like Valentine's Day and spending time with your significant other and bonding and forming compatibility, or determining you have compatibility and connecting, is important, so that the what if game, you don't have to play it. You ain't got to play the what if game. People know you a hoe. Okay. So if you're with someone, they know you're a hoe, they let you do your little hoe stuff, have a hoe mentality, and play a what if game. And, I'm going to go to this person, eat food, I'm going to buy this person's kids' shoes. All that stuff won't be a factor if you both are on the same page, even if someone has a hoe mentality. And the rabbit hole basically was about the hoe mentality. I'm not saying that anybody has a hoe mentality per se, but you can kind of see it was kind of like dancing around something. And then towards the end, it was just the idea of playing the what if game to form an excuse just in case, someone gets caught fucking around, in my opinion. So the only obligation you have is to your significant other, your children. That's it. Anybody else is charity, and it should be the team, the family business determining if they're going to give anything, whether it be $1 or $1 million. The team should definitely do that. And one last final thing, as far as the Grandmaster Troll Valentine's Day the Valentine's Day stream, I think that men need to kind of stop complaining about women. I mean, there's nothing wrong with sharing information and sharing your experience, but just the generalization and going on and on and on, crying and whining. Oh, these women don't respect us. Oh, woe is me. Crying and complaining is not going to make someone want to all of a sudden just open their legs for you. It's not going to work. It's never going to work. We got to stop crying and complaining about our situation and do something about it. And ultimately understand that, when it comes, we as black men, black women are not our women. They are their own women. They're not obligated to us. So if you try to talk to a woman and she turns you down, let it go. Don't go on and on crying a river, talking about woe is me. Cut the babble. And then one final thing, and then I'm done. When it boils down to, a lot of men in these spaces complain about the women, but yet people are still hooking up in back chats and still trying to sleep with each other. So if you're wanting to really sleep with someone in this space, and that's really what your hang up is, maybe you should just approach who you want to talk to, ask them out on a date like normal people. And if they say yes, find a way to go on a date. If they say no, move on. That's all I got.
All right. Well, I am moving into the bad service area, so I'm not going to make my closing statements very long. But I will say this: Faith is looking forward to being pampered this Sunday. So I'm not.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm not going to do any complaining. I'm not going to be uncomfortable when I get my foot rubs and back rubs and everything else rubs and special sponge baths.
Apparently,
So,
it's going to be like 10 hands massaging each foot. The way Rude was making it seem, it's going to be 10 hands on one foot. So you're going to have 20 hands on each foot.
You're going to be on one side, and Dita Rail's going to be on the other side, and O'Shea is going to probably be at the top somewhere, and Rude might get in there somewhere too.
Right.
And, I might have 10 other guys somewhere in there. Faith just got all the guys.
Right.
I wish.
Just a whole bunch of hands on the foot. Whole bunch of hands on the feet. So enjoy that massage, the super massage.
That would be a hell of a massage. Yep. But anyway.
See, there you go. There you go. The rumors have been validated.
No, but
content
CK,
coming soon.
you have a very nice lady. I've talked to her a couple of times behind the scenes when we were doing our collaborations. Yeah. And he also works with 2 other ladies on here, guys. So when people collaborate together on here, it does not automatically mean they're screwing each other. Right. I believe you work with Ray, and you work with
Tony, a woman named Tony, for the
Tony,
finishing first. Yeah.
Yeah, she's an actress and a model, guys. So I don't think Faith can compete with that. But anyway, like I said, I love it though. I love YouTube rumors and politics. It's great. It's exciting. But at any rate, I want to say, guys, try to enjoy your holiday. Valentine's Day is one day out of the year where you are reminded. It's a reminder to appreciate the person that you're with. And if you're not with anybody, appreciate yourself. Love yourself. Buy yourself a heart. Take yourself out. Do something special for yourself or your children or anyone in your life that you love. Okay, Valentine's Day is about expressing love for that special somebody in your life. And with that, I'm going to say peace to everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us. You guys are the real MVPs because you come out and you support no matter how late we're streaming. So I appreciate that as always. And we're out.